Good morning, Sandy. How are you?
Good morning, Blake and Aaron. How are you guys doing?
We are good.
Awesome. I see you this morning.
Yeah, I see you.
I know one of my lights is out, so I gotta play around with that here in a second. But anyway, yes, happy Wednesday. It's Hump Day Wednesday. So the police have been making some strides in a number of investigations. So they have just arrested another man, a second man, in the West Bay stabbing that happened a few weeks back. So they have indicated that they have arrested someone for the murder of George Duffel. And as you guys remember, Mr. Duffel, unfortunately, was stabbed to death, 53-year-old, on October the 14th.
Yeah.
So really, really sad situation. No, sorry, he's 51. The man that they've arrested is 53.
Oh, really?
Down in Birch Tree Hill Road. So sad situation. We'll see where the investigations continue, and certainly let you guys know once they're charged and are before the courts.
Yeah.
Yes, the Department of Environmental Health has opened up a new West Bay recycling depot, so they are inviting people to avail themselves of that. So it's open once again in the community at the Ed Bush Sports Center starting November the 18th. And so they've just announced this. And you can go out. They've got containers for metal and glass and other recyclables.
What are they going to do with the glass, though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Aaron knows this
They'll
stuff.
have to wait till they get a...
Or used to crush it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they used to here?
Yeah.
So, and then what do you do? Send it off?
No, they would.
Oh, wait a minute. Are they doing glass? Maybe they're not. Hold on. Yeah. They said... collection of type 1 and 2 plastics, mixed paper and cardboard, metal and aluminum cans. My apologies. No gas. Yeah. I mean, no gas, no glass.
Yeah, so, not yet. Hopefully that will get sorted out by a company on island soon.
So, yes, of course, for those listeners who may not be aware, the glass crushing and machine is no longer, it's reached its life cycle after some 10 years in use, which, by the way, did you guys know that the DART organization did that at no cost to anybody else for 10 years? They did the entire
Well, but they used it in building supplies. They used the concrete, they crushed the glass. And
yeah, but they didn't have to take on, it's an immense expense to actually get it to that point and then make it available to others, right?
Mm.
So
concrete's expensive too, so mutually beneficial.
But I don't think they were, actually...
It was glistening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that they were the ones who were making the profit on that. So, I mean, repurposing it, I think anybody would want to do, but...
Well, that's what recycling is, repurposing.
Yeah.
Well, yes. But they listen, they funded, operated, collected, washed the bottles, and crushed them for use. Did they make money off of the use? Did they resell it to other people?
I doubt that they made money. We all know
I don't think they did.
That DART spends a lot of money making the community a better place in a lot of areas, but it's also so they can do other things.
Building.
Yeah.
I mean, they're building. I mean,
so
I can't believe how many new buildings I see every time. I went off island for the summer, came back. I was like, wait, there's a new building.
Well, you'd be surprised to know that on the DART complex, you see that there's like 2 buildings going up now, and then they're doing the hotel. My understanding is after that is done, there's no immediate plans for any sort of construction by the DART organization. So somebody else better start building something to keep all these construction workers in a job, because they literally employ hundreds of people.
There'll be other more.
All right. Academy Sports Club is hosting a 7-a-side men's corporate club. If you're interested in this, please sign up your team so you're able to contact them. Teams may enter a maximum of 10 players, age 18 and above, and the games will be a total of 20 minutes with no halftime breaks, and FIFA rules generally apply, but no offside rule, whatever an offside rule is. Players who are in the Cayman Island Men's Premier League are not permitted to play in this tournament, and the event will be held on November the 26th from 8:30 a.m. until 1 a.m. So go check it out. Registration fees, $600 per team. And you can email admin@academysportsclub.ky or contact Paul Biles, 916-783-89.
No offside rule. So you can just stand by the goal and someone can kick it up to you and you get it right in.
Aaron knows this stuff too.
I know, Aaron. You're just a little.
I don't know anything about NFL though. But the Kentucky Carrots.
You're just a little detective. So yesterday, I went by. Yesterday, I went by the Cayman Classics. I don't know if you guys had a chance to pop in.
No, the college basketball tournament.
Yeah. So very, very cool. Lots to see and do there. And it was really interesting to see all the sportscasters. You know, it's NCAA. What is it?
NCAA.
NCAA. Thank you.
No, Blake knows about something this morning.
We're all going to collectively put our heads together for the sports news today. So yes, it was very, very interesting to see all of them broadcasting the events. Tons of international media is there. So it was just really, really interesting. I must say it was
it's nice to have that here because I mean a lot of people are into college,
it's getting us a lot of it's actually getting us a lot of positive press. So we'll be talking about that a little bit later on in today's program. But yes, those are your news headlines for today.
Well, rarely do you get to see college NCAA basketball. Well, in the Cayman Islands, you'd have to go obviously to the States and see a tournament there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or specifically at a college campus to see a game. It's exciting. College basketball is exciting to me.
Yeah. I know these guys. And you know what else is there? A lot of scouts, like people on the lookout for the good talent that's coming. So these guys are on the verge of doing something amazing. But yeah, absolutely. Go check it out. They have multiple games throughout the day. Today's the final day, by the way. And I will be there again later on.
Cool.
All right. Well, catch Sandy's show in the meantime right now on Bobo 89.1 FM. We'll see you tomorrow for the Thursday headlines. All right.
Wonderful. Have a good one.
Yeah, bye.
All right.
Peppermint, sorrel, ginger, beaver grass, or English. Get it ready. Your morning tea just got hotter.
Ooh, honey child.
On the cold, hard truth. Bobo 89.1 and Cayman's #1 talk show are bringing you morning talk like no one else. Monday Rewind, Impact Wednesdays, Caribbean Connections, and much more. Don't miss a beat with what's happening in the local community. Just keep sipping your tea.
What a mess.
Here's your host, live and direct from the Cayman Islands, Sandy Hill.
All right. Good morning, folks. How is everyone doing? Hope you guys are well. Wagwan, Cayman. Buenos dias. Good morning. Soon we'll be saying Feliz Navidad. It's coming right around the corner. I was out yesterday and I saw some Christmas decorations and offices now. And I actually saw Santa. You guys are not going to believe this, but it's true. I was at the basketball Classics, the Cayman Classics. And I'm walking by. I'm going to show you guys the picture. And all of a sudden, I saw Santa. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to take your picture. So hold on. Let me show you guys Santa. And he was like, oh, honey, chill. Hello, ma'am. And I said, oh my gosh, my daughter is going to love seeing you. Yes. Okay. Chuck said no overtime today. He's busy. So yes, Santa Claus was there watching basketball and I grabbed a little photo of him. So I've got lots of footage from the event yesterday as well. I'll share that with you guys a little bit later on. But these guys, as Blake just said, watching college basketball is really, really interesting because you get to see what is going to be the next generation potentially of professional athletes. And they are on it, man. They are hustling on that court. And, when they're not playing, they're practicing. So they take a break between matches and then they're on the actual Oh, someone says the ads are playing over your voice. I'll keep an eye on that because I don't think I was talking at the time, but thank you for letting me know. So yes, it was, a fantastic event. And like I was saying, when they're not actually playing a game, they are practicing and they practice hard, honey child. They got to make sure that when they get out on the court, there's no injuries and they're able to keep the ball in hand and score some points. So I'll show you guys a few pictures that I snapped, including my Santa photo. And look at Santa. Here we go. So yes, it was a really nice time yesterday. And I'm going to go back again today. So here's Santa with this young man. Santa has been spotted. So when I showed that to my daughter, she's like, oh, is that really Santa? He was there? And I said, it sure looks like Santa, doesn't it? And she's like, wow. And these are some of the athletes using the rolling balls, rolling out, the muscles to keep them nice and limber. They were rolling them good. This was after the final sort of mid-afternoon match. So they go back in the evenings. Last night was 5 o'clock and I think it's 5 and 7 or 7:30 match. So yeah, so they went back and then different teams obviously playing, and we'll see who's going to be in the finals a bit later on today. They're still eliminating each other. And here are some LSU fans. LSU is a favorite for this tournament to go into the finals. And they brought fans with them all the way from America and their respective states. Literally thousands of people have come in for this event. So I want to say kudos to the Cayman Islands government for sponsoring this event. It is my understanding from the organizers that without the support of the Minister and Ministry of Tourism and Transport, that this event would not be possible. So this is some very, very, very good news. And like I said, starting from last week, they were bussing in. I saw some on Friday at the Westin. They were bussing in a lot of the teams and their supporters. And, they've got supporters in the stand cheering on for them and saying, defense, defense, defense. Yes, they were on it, folks. So it's good to see, like, there's something special about being in an environment where a sport is being played, not just watching it on TV, right? Sports, I think the participants add a layer of excitement and activity to it. And you just really get into it at a different level. Like, you can't not be excited at a basketball match. Like, you just, you're there to support your team. And it's just so much excitement. And, in America in particular, but I think all over the world, depending on what sports you're into, you really go hard for your team. So everybody loves a good team. And basketball is no exception. Basketball has followers all over the world. It's obviously an Olympic sport. They've got the collegiate teams. They've got high school teams. They've got professional teams. And they have like a whole area for media at this event. And so we have the international media there with all of their equipment and their professional videographers live streaming the event, and they're covering it. I don't know what channel actually has it on, but I saw a guy with his headsets on and I could hear him narrating the event. And so, of course, I'm keen to hear what he was saying a little bit. And he was sitting right next to me. And he was talking about how this Cayman Classic is being held in the Cayman Islands and what a wonderful event and wonderful opportunity this is. And he's like, people just love coming to destinations like this. And this tournament is amazing because you get to see this beautiful island with, lots of beautiful scenery, beaches, and so on. And so I know that they have been definitely taking advantage of some of the scenery for sure, and just really enjoying themselves. So, it was nice. All right. So today's the final day. And by the way, lots of Cayman faces there behind the scenes helping. So I want to do a big shout out to Miss Iva, who is part of the organizing team, in the sense that they're the people on the ground making sure everybody knows where to go. And you know what is so beautiful about an event like this is I love when people like Wendy, Miss Iva, all these Caymanian faces become part of the welcome team, and part of like, okay, you go here, and yes, we're sorting out lunch for you. And honey chow, Miss Iva is on it. She's like, we got lunch sorted for the media, we got lunch sorted for this group, and she making sure that they get the best of what Cayman has to offer. A little bit of local food thrown in there for the mix, and they love it. I mean, one guy, I don't know which team, I think he might be media, I'm not 100% sure, but he was already called Miss Iva, his wife. I know we're going to talk about marriages of convenience, and I'm positive that he's not really looking for a wife, but it was just sort of funny, the rapport that they have already developed in such a short period of time. It was really, really quite hilarious. So, and it's nice to see, that people can come to our beautiful island and actually interact with Caymanians, meet a nice Caymanian lady that has great sense of humor and the accent to go with it. And she knows her job. She knows what she's doing, and she can hook you up with all sorts of stuff. Now, I'm aware that one of my lights is out this morning, by the way. I'm trying to resolve it. I look a little bit different, as you can see. Not bad, just not enough lighting. So I'm trying to get it sorted out. So again, congratulations. Thousands of people were brought in. They came in. Remember now, this is going to be hotels that are benefiting, tour buses. I saw Majestic Tours, I think it's called, had full, bus loads full of people, and they're going out to dinners. So restaurants are going to benefit. They're going out to, different events and whatever. So again, this has been a successful sport tourism event. And like I said, the scouts are there. And my understanding is the scouts this actually counts. Somebody was telling me how this works. They said that this tournament is actually counting on the roster for these guys. And so that's like, I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. So yeah, good stuff, right? So we'll keep you guys updated about today and who wins. And just, keep it locked here, because, we got you covered. All right. So yesterday I was having some computer problems, honey chill. I said to my husband, I said, listen to me. I don't like to have computer problems. And in fact, I got to tell you the truth. I'm just like, hold on here now. Let me see. Display brightness. This thing is everything is a little bit dark in here today. I don't know why. So yes, I was saying to Marlon yesterday, I said, Marlon, this thing after the show, thank God it happened after the show, actually. All of a sudden, let me just see if this is bright enough. Yeah, I guess that'll do. I'll play with that a little bit later on. All right. So all of a sudden, folks, my computer literally just crashed about 4 times before I left home. I thought to myself, oh, Lord, this is not a good sign. I don't know what's going on. And he said, I messaged him. I said, order me a new computer. He's like, I'll look at it when I come home. And I said, no, just order it. I don't have the patience to look at anything. You know how we can be, folks. So thank God he has a calm head on him. So he said, okay, I'll have a look. This evening, I'll have a look for you. So he came home and I was harassing him to get me a new computer because, listen, my computer is my life, right? That's work. I can't survive without technology. And we can't have the show without this computer. So it's under constant stress and strain. And, I get it. Computers like anything else might not want to be working sometimes. So he said, well, he's actually an IT professional. I think some of y'all don't necessarily know this, but that's his job. That's what he does for a living. So he said, let me see what's actually causing it. You know me now, I don't even care. I'm like, just order a new computer. I don't care what's causing it. And he's like, yeah, let's see what the issue is. Like, what's causing it? And so sure enough, he goes into some area, I don't know, looking at some log or another. And it's a bit of software that is causing it to crash. And I thought, oh, so I don't have to order a new computer? He's like, mm-hmm. He said, well, that would be a waste if it's just software related, because you can just, for now, stop the software and then we will figure out, why the software is causing it to crash. So anyway, turns out that, I don't know why, but Dropbox, which I do use a lot, Dropbox is like a kind of file sharing application, I guess. And I back up all of my stuff in Dropbox so I can have some degree of redundancy off of my local computer. So if I have a complete system failure, I'm still good. If this computer, I got the light working by the way. If this computer died right now, all my stuff is backed up in multiple locations. So, some of my designers, they're halfway around the world. They will upload stuff directly to Dropbox for me, and then I'm able to access it. And I share stuff with my client via Dropbox. I do use Dropbox quite heavily, so I'm a little bit surprised that there's this issue because certainly I've not done anything recently. I don't know if the computer itself has updated, and that's causing some sort of a potential conflict, but we'll get it figured out. So no need for a new computer quite yet. But, I kind of feel like when something catastrophic happens and you're like, oh my gosh, I need a new computer right now, your choices are trying to find something that you literally would have to custom build on this island, which is going to be ridiculously priced, or you just go to Miami and get something, order it off of Amazon or whatever. And a lot of times that takes time. So you could have some downtime. Now, the great thing about the system that I use is technically I could do everything from my laptop. So, a lot of you didn't realize that the first week of, shortly after the show started, the very next week, I was actually traveling overseas, and I was able to set up everything in my hotel room. I had a board. I could take calls like you guys didn't. The only way you knew that I was somewhere else was because the background looked a little bit different. So it does give me the technology that we have available to us is just so amazing that it gives me that sort of flexibility. Now, I want to talk about something else this morning as well. I'm just trying to remember. KK says it's Black Friday. Order one. Yes, not a bad idea. And, the prices have come down on certain things, to be honest, because I might have mentioned this before, but during COVID, there was a run on graphics cards. Not anything, well, a little bit because a lot of people were streaming, but not really. That wasn't the cause of it. It was because people were all into this Bitcoin thing, cryptocurrency. And the cryptocurrency world, apparently they must need machines that require a lot of graphics power. I don't really know why. Don't ask me why, because I don't actually know why. But what I do know is that market drove up the price of graphics cards enormously. They were going for more than PCs at one point. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And so this is the, what's it called? Demand and supply and demand, right? So there was a huge demand for it, limited supply, and it went through the roof. And there were a lot of people during COVID that they discovered the world of what we do here, podcasting, vlogging, whatever term they want to use for it. There's actually there are differences between the two, but they discovered that they could live stream a show, and despite not being able to be in public with people, they could still connect and do all this sort of stuff. So there was a real push in the market for these devices, for that specific component of a computer. And so one of the key things that I definitely need for me, for any desktop computer I have, is a really decent graphics card. And they can run you into the thousands of dollars just for the graphics card. And you guys might remember a few months back, my graphics card crashed on me, and I was lucky enough to be able to find one on island. But you're going to pay $1,000 easily for it. So yeah, so that's those are now starting to come down. They're expected to come down even more the first quarter of next year, because as it turns out, the cryptocurrency market, where's my little button for that, Shell? Because that's gone the way of that's gone the way of what would be appropriate for that. Let me think now. Oh gosh, why is that one not audible? Hold on. But anyway, that that's gone the way of hold on. Yeah, something like that. It's crashed, and all sorts of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency companies have either been fined by the SEC, or people thrown in jail, or sued for millions and billions of dollars worth of loss, or all sorts of stuff. So it's pretty crazy. But that now has had a very, very interesting impact on our availability of graphics cards. And the market, listen, the manufacturers of these cards, yes, they will make their money. So if they see that something happens in the market that pushes up the cost, well, it pushes up the cost, and you pay to play. And so it's not always cheap to get these things done. But nonetheless, thankful that I was able to source one on island, because it meant that I didn't quite have as many logistical nightmares actually getting it. Because that's the problem, right? You can get it, but that means that you have to go overseas or sort out someone who's coming in to bring it to you. Yes. So, thank God for modern technology, y'all. That's all I can tell you. Whoops. And yeah, so this time of year, as you guys know, this is strange. Something isn't working. my computer just told me that. I'm like, oh, I could have told you that. This time of year, we do have Black Friday sales that are coming up. So as KK said, if you're interested in a good deal, sometimes this time of year, you can find them. But, I don't really go out of my way on Black Friday, I must tell you, because now they have Cyber Monday, Black Friday. They always trying to get your money. So they always have some sort of a sale deal. Although I feel like this year, because of what's happening in the world of retail, they're trying to make the pot a little bit sweeter than normal. So, I'm keeping my eye on a few things. There's nothing this year. I'm feeling kind of blah about even Christmas shopping. There's really nothing certainly that I need. And I'm like, I'll keep my eye on a few things. A woman can never have enough shoes. So let's be honest. I'm always looking for, as my husband says, a pair of granny shoes, because he swears that I wear granny shoes. He's like, oh, this is what he said to me yesterday. He's so funny. He said to me yesterday, Curtis says, see my Facebook page on Colin, please. Your personal page? All right, let me check it out. So he said to me yesterday, I said, oh, your mom said if I could try to source her a pair of shoes. Now she wears a wide shoe, which I think I kind of do now as well, because my feet have grown, honey chill. But wide shoes are hard to find. Most women just go up half a size, but they really need a wide shoe because they're, wide versus the length. And so he said to me, he said, "Oh, you're gonna shop for," he calls her my mother. He always says, "Oh, your mom's shoes." So he says, "Oh yeah, you're gonna shop for her shoes? Well, good. The two of you should be perfect for that because you're both wearing granny shoes." I'm just like, really? Oh my God. Absolutely ridiculous. He's like, "Yep, you wear granny shoes, and she's a grandmother, and she's actually wearing granny shoes. So you should be able to help her find the perfect shoe." As it turns out, I will be able to help her find the perfect shoe. Thank you, Curtis. We're going to share that here in just a second. Appreciate it. Yeah, Sean, he's always messing with me, my shoes. He's like, "Oh, you wear granny shoes, can't you?" And I said, "Listen, son, you don't get it. When you've never gotten it because you don't wear heels or anything else. When you're of a particular age, you can't be bothered wearing all these sexy looking high heel shoes that killing your back and your foot and squeezing your big toe and all kind of stuff. We ain't got time to be fashionable in that regard anymore. So it's comfort first." And you guys know I have a problem with my foot already, my feet. So comfort is of immense importance. And I will spend money on shoes. I'll save somewhere else. But when it comes to shoes, honey child, they need to be comfortable. So I buy good brand shoes. But you can always catch a little sale. Go to Sawgrass Mall, go to those outlet malls, honey chill. Buy one, get one kind of deals. Good morning, Miss Vernita. Marshall is here. Oh, my WhatsApp group, forgive me. I've completely forgotten y'all this morning to send out the notification. Let me do that because they're like, "What?" Don't forget, for the next week, we are using our backup channel on YouTube because we got in a little bit of YouTube jail because of the FIFA match. And I want to speaking of FIFA, I want to clarify something about what I said yesterday, because I think I misspoke when I spoke on the topic of Logic offering the FIFA games. So I do want to clarify this because this is quite important. Logic is a corporate entity, just like everybody else. And so they bid for the World Cup this year and to air it this year, and they got the exclusive rights to it. So no one else in the Cayman Islands, the other providers, C3, Flow, I think that's it, right? That's the only TV providers we have now. So none of them would be able to get access to it through their official sources. So apparently Offreg went to Logic and begged them to share the feed, essentially, with CIG. And there's let me bring up the story here. There are some games that are what they call free to air, I think is the term that's used, or over the air, or whatever. And those are the matches that they have made available. So it's like 22 out of about 66 matches. So yesterday during the segment Spilling the Tea, I said that they weren't the good games. Now, forgive me for saying it, folks, and I must tell you, I'm not really a football person. I could care less, in fact, about football. I don't really watch it. I only know because I pay attention to what happens in my community, who the favorites are. So I know yesterday Australia must have lost and got their butts handed to them by who was it? Australia played, was it Croatia? I don't even know. But anyway, they got a beating. And so, yes, I know that happened. I know what time the matches are. And I only know this information for other reasons because I have to, in the world that I'm in, I have to pay attention to a lot of different things. So I said that they were going to share the okay games, but not the best games. Apparently, that's not true. The matches that they are sharing are some of the, more exciting matches that you will want to watch, including some final and semifinal games. So kudos to Offreg for deciding to approach them about it. And kudos so today we have Morocco and Croatia. That was at 5 a.m. We have, let me tell you who else is coming up. Germany and Japan is at 8. Ooh, that's starting soon. Wait, yeah, 8 a.m. Yes. And then we have Spain and Costa Rica. That's at 11. So they're back to back. And Belgium and Canada today at 2 p.m. So definitely, if you are a football fan, there you go. Told you who's playing today. So yes, I just want to clarify for the sake of accuracy that Logic has made the games available to CIG, and then there's like I guess CIG channels on the other providers, which would cover some of you who have Logic, C3 or Flow. So good for them because they didn't have to do it. I mean, let's be very clear here. They paid, I'm sure, top dollar to have the exclusive rights, and they certainly don't have to share with anybody. The government is apparently trying to work on some sort of potential deal where they would, like certain events that they consider of national importance, no one would be able to get the exclusive rights to it. I don't know how that's going to be defined exactly, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. And I'm sure it will probably lead to all sorts of back and forth between the telecom companies. We'll have to wait and see how it happens. So they do have a number of matches starting on December the 3rd. And again, I think those are the semifinals going right up until December the 18th. So stay tuned so you can see what those are. So any other surprises in the world of sports yesterday? I think that the biggest surprise has been that people probably can't drink beer at these events. They're like, it was a last minute switcheroo in Qatar or whatever, however we're going to say it, Qatar. So they originally were going to allow them, supposedly. They never had any intentions of doing this, folks. This is a very traditional Muslim country. There's only so many things you can expect for them to do. Even for world events like this, they're not going to bend as much as you think, right? So, a lot of people were a bit upset about that. Budweiser, who is the major sponsor for this event, they've got the exclusive liquor deal with this. For them. I would have been like, no thanks. But anyway, they had some meetings with the officials in that country when they were making the decision, and there is some give and take. So Budweiser is going to take a hit on this, I think. This is what one headline said: FIFA facing a staggering $70 million blow after World Cup beer ban. $70 million. Make that sink in, because y'all love to drink. So, I don't think that they were happy about this decision to not sell beer at venues for the FIFA World Cup this year. But it says that FIFA could be set for massive payout. Because, listen, these people come in as a sponsor, Budweiser sponsor, because guess what? They expect to be able to sell their beer. Can you blame them? Why be a beer company and sponsor an event if you can't? Brandon says no audio on YouTube. Do you have the right YouTube channel? Because we're in the backup channel. But yeah, it should be. I don't know. There's nothing different on YouTube. But yeah, this is crazy, right? So FIFA might have to foot the bill on this one. No, sir. The host nation backflipped on an agreement to sell beer inside of stadiums just 2 days before kickoff. Now that was wrong. They could have given you all a bit more notice, but you know why they didn't do it? Because they didn't want completely empty stadiums. Now, in this country, as in a lot of countries that like to control people, they control the media, or they try to anyway. They've been really, really salty at international media. I'm going to show you guys a clip here in a second. But international media has been, just telling it like it is at this event. And they don't like that. They don't like international media calling them out and saying, you're not the best host country. And, because of some of your belief systems that you have in place, quite frankly, you really just make it most interesting event to have to attend. So anyway, they did the backflip literally days before the event, which people were not appreciative of, because I imagine that a lot of people would not have even gone to this event. Oh, no beer? Oh God, I'll sit home and watch it and drink all the beer that I want. Y'all don't know how important beer is to people, honey chill. They love the liquor. And so Budweiser has been permitted to sell non-alcoholic beverage. What's the purpose of that exactly? Just like, what? So yes, $70 million here, I guess is what FIFA is going to probably have to end up paying out to Budweiser. So they have a surplus of beer as a result. I'm going to show you how much beer they anticipated. This is a side shot of this. It is stacked full in warehouses. I wonder where the warehouse is. But I mean, the pallets are up to the ceiling of alcohol that they were hoping. They probably ramped up production for this, and they were hoping to be able to offload. And now, because of this last minute decision, the beer is just sitting there. Y'all need another world event to be able to, let me see if I can pull this image up, to be able to actually sell this, beer. So they're going to probably have to pay out some money. So it says here that the sale and consumption of alcohol is legal in Qatar, but it is strictly controlled, with drinks typically only available in hotel bars and restaurants at an inflated price. They're the morality police, honey chill. So fans who were visiting were under the impression that FIFA had officially organized a deal for alcohol to be sold at stadiums. But FIFA bowed to Qatar authorities and confirmed that no alcohol would be served in the 8 official venues. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a bitter blow for FIFA, who was still staring down the barrel, of potential legal action from major sponsor Budweiser for breach of contract. The American company had paid $112 million. Yes, $112 million to win the sponsorship rights. Oh my gosh, can you imagine having a $112 million deal to sell beer at this FIFA event, and you can't even sell it. So they can sell their Budweiser Zero, which apparently is a non-alcoholic beer, but ain't nobody buying that, honey child. So they're going to lose some $71 million. So it says, according to the Sun, Budweiser will be looking to knock off a $71 million fee for the FIFA 2026 World Cup because of this drama. Oh, okay. So I see what they're going to do. So they've got the 2026 bid as well. And they're going to just say, oh yeah, we're not going to pay you. Now the next one goes up because inflation hits everybody. So it goes from 112 million this year for the sponsorship of World Cup for Budweiser to 170 million in 2026. And they're like, well, guess what? We're going to lose 71 million in this deal this year. We're going to knock it off in the future. So that's how they're going to do it, as opposed to them paying them cash or whatever. They said that they're basically going to knock it off of the next bill that they get from FIFA. What a mess. So I know that speaking of FIFA, a lot of you have been oh, look, there's a headline that says, we now know what Budweiser will do with the beer it can't sell. Oh, let's see. What are they going to do with it? I'm curious to know. The company has an innovative solution to offload it. They're going to ship the unsold buds to the country that wins a tournament. The company said in a tweet. Oh, that should be interesting. The company confirmed the plans in a statement to CNN Business, saying that It wants to bring this celebration from the FIFA World Cup stadiums to the winning country's fans. Oh, my tweetum. Yes, sir. That's going to be some drunk country. I don't know who that is, but that's a lot of beer. I'm trying to see how much beer this actually is. So, like I said, Qatar pulled a fast one, because even in September, they were telling people that, you get your ticketed fans, you get your tickets, you'll be able to buy alcoholic beer 3 hours before kickoff and for 1 hour after the final whistle, but not during the match. So that's what people were expecting. Like, okay, we get it. We get it. You're a Muslim country. You want to control every single little thing. All right. But 3 hours before, I guess you can kind of stock up and get your buzz on. And then 1 hour after the final whistle, nothing during the matches. And then they did the flip on them. So Budweiser tweeted, everybody, I'm not into tweeting. We still use Facebook and Instagram for the most part. But when they made the announcement that there'd be no liquor sold at any of the venues, right? They even remove sales points of beers from the various stadium perimeter. So not even inside the perimeter. Man, these people are next level controlling. Okay. Budweiser tweeted, well, this is awkward. And then they said they quickly deleted it. So they sent that through their social media thing, and then they quickly, I wonder who at Budweiser did that. You think everybody got fired for tweeting that in the communications team? Well, this is awkward. I would have left that up, honey child. Stick by it. It is awkward. So they say Budweiser made a statement saying that as partners of FIFA for over 3 decades, we look forward to our activations of FIFA World Cup campaigns around the world to celebrate football with our consumers. And some of the planned stadium activations cannot move forward due to circumstances beyond our control. Well, folks, that's quite interesting. That's the PC version of, well, this is awkward. It is awkward. But let me show y'all what this looks like now. How much beer are we talking about? Check this out. Look at that. It's like a whole warehouse full of liquor. Wow, that's a lot of beer. What kind of beer is that comes in a red box? I don't know. But pallets and upon pallets of nothing but alcohol. How much alcohol do you think the world consumes? Y'all love to drink. Oh, that is a lot. My goodness. Well, there you have it. That's your World Cup news and excitement for the day. Good morning, everybody. We got so many of you tuned in this beautiful Wednesday morning. Marshall, Vernita, Miss June is here. Melita, you need to get your book that you won yesterday. Dawn says, still wondering about the poor 2-year-old found dead in Cayman Brac. No updates from police or news. What's happening? Well, we did an update. I think we need to put it on the website, because I feel like sometimes we do an update during the show. If you missed it, then you think there wasn't an update. So I'm going to put that on my to-do list. Where's my little piece of paper so I don't forget? Hold on now. Let me write it down. Scribble, scribble. We'll put it in writing. Update on child. Basically, I'm actually going to ask the police for an official statement so I can just quote them, because this was a phone call, honey child. Let me shoot them a quick email. So basically, they have said that there is no foul play. And I said, are you sure? Are you sure? They brought in their best detectives, pediatric pathologists, and this, that, and the next thing. And they have said, yes, they're sure. Now, there's a lot of theories, a lot of people who've been talking with all kinds of stories. I've heard them all, believe me, you. And they have said that there's nothing to indicate that any of those things are actually accurate. And if anyone has any concrete information other than my aunt's cousin, husband, father, sister-in-law told me, kind of stories, like the real Ma Road. Pressing for an official. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so set that off to them. So yes, they have said that the child apparently drowned. Now, I don't know what that means, honey child. I don't know if that is, drowning in a pool, drowning in salt water. I don't know if they tested it for salt water, or I don't really know the level of the investigation, and they're not necessarily going into those level of details. But you know, G's on peace. Here, All right, we come into that topic in just a second. Marriage of convenience. Y'all can't wait. You're like, Sandy, I know somebody who's a marriage of convenience. So Dan, that's the official police position. Obviously, we're not detectives and we don't know all that they know. This was something that touched this community, probably like very few deaths have, because it does involve a child. A lot of us felt like a lot of components of the story wasn't adding up. At the very minimum, it's a case of negligence with the primary caregiver of the child, which would have been the child's mother. She herself had been posting on social media about people having done stuff to her child. And I've had other people reached out who were family members who said that they also believe there's some degree of foul play. But the police have said no one has stepped forward and given them a single statement that will be useful to their investigation, I suppose, including the very mother. And so their investigation is done. They've spoken to the mother. They've told her what their findings are. Now, I found it peculiar because someone over the weekend reached out to me that's a relatively close family member to the child. And they said, oh, they weren't told anything. I said, well, you might not have been told anything, but the child's mother has been told. Now, whether or not she's sharing that with anybody else, I do not know. The child's father has been told because the police commissioner and high-level people actually met with, oh my gosh, what on earth? Actually met with the primary caregivers of the child, which would be the two parents. Now, how they're disseminating that information, Dan, only God knows, but that's the official position. They said, case closed. Morna, good morning. Alejandro, fit body. Oh, fit foodie, sorry. Said, good morning, CMR fam. You see how I said, it should be fit body for some of us around here, but it's fit foodie. Alice, oh, is that footy as in football, or foodie as in, no, I think it's foodie. Alice, good morning to you. She's saying be safe on the road. Sujit is here. Irvelin, Cecil says, good morning. Please tell me are there any Caymanians driving taxi in Jamaica or Barbados? I doubt it. There's barely any Caymanians driving taxi in Cayman, much less Jamaica or Barbados. Cecil, why do you ask? Because are our streets now overran by foreign taxi drivers? Well, that's been a long time, honey child. Somebody said to me yesterday, they said I made them chuckle, but they showed me this this women's group of Cayman. I tell y'all, I'm in the group and I don't participate in the group. I don't normally look at anything in the group, but people just screenshot and send me stuff. Now I know they're going to get their panties all in a bunch if I talk about, what's being shared in the group, because it's like some big secret, although it's like 8,000 plus people. Well, y'all know I don't care because people can still send me stuff and we're going to still talk about it because it's very topical. So someone had up a post about looking for a nanny. And they're like, oh, these foreigners coming here and look here, they're taking jobs from Caymanians. Why can't they find a Caymanian for this job? And I said, well, stick a pin. To be very clear, I personally have never met a Caymanian who wanted a nanny job or a helper job. Now, I could be wrong. And, maybe they exist. I don't really know. But I have certainly not met any. And so let us stay focused on the conversations that matter, in the sense that these are not the jobs we want. We want jobs like real estate and HR managers and marketing and, maybe some administrative jobs or whatever. So this person said, so far, I've had like 10 online interviews and 3 more waiting. How do you know or choose good people to work with, especially when you are not on the island already? Or says in the island already. I want a family who will appreciate my skills and energy. I hear you there. And she was actually in the KY Nanny Finder references and reviews group. My apologies. This one was not the real women, or whatever they call themselves these days, women in Cayman. This was the KY Mummies Nanny Finder references and reviews. So this is someone who's overseas, who's looking to be in the nanny business. So the person sent it to me and I said, I said, honestly, I don't think this is a controversial point. I don't see any Caymanians doing backflips to become a nanny. Oh, Sabrina said Chuck's feed was playing. Hopefully that's resolved. Thank you, Sabrina. Oh, you know what it is, Sabrina? I think you need to double check this, because if there's a degree of silence on the Bobo feed, apparently it auto plays that same feed, whatever that show is, because it thinks that something has happened on my end, and to compensate for the dead air, it just pulls something. But I think maybe the timer that they have on it must be a little bit, it has to be a little bit too, too quick or something. And because I mentioned that Chuck actually isn't in studio today, the auto thing is picking up. But I'll mention it to them, because I think they have to make some changes. Thanks for letting me know, guys. I think they definitely have to make some changes. So presumably you're no longer hearing it. I don't know. I can't listen to the feed at the same time. But I'll alert somebody else who's there just in case. So yeah, it's a situation where if you don't start on time, it will automatically, let me see here now, Dave, I think is who I need to be messaging. It will automatically do that. So that's why I have to constantly talk, even if there's something going on with either YouTube or Facebook feed. I have to constantly talk so that the system know I'm here. Don't play that auto feed. All right, Dorothy, hello, Felicia. Anne says, any news in Cayman first status? Well, we're going to do an updated story. The only thing I can say in short is that it remains a bit of a precarious situation. That's a fancy word that essentially means it's touch and go. The doctors are not happy. Some of them are refusing to even accept Cayman First. Cayman First not happy because they've now been exposed, honey child. So of course they all up in their feelings about the whole situation. And that's where it is. So we'll do a little updated story on that as well. I don't think there's been any drastic improvements, I'm afraid to say. KK says she's ordering from Walmart. Speaking of Walmart, sad news this morning. What the hell is wrong with America? Can y'all just get it together, please? I hate this kind of news. This morning, some crazy gunman went into Walmart and killed like a bunch of people. I saw the headline, but I haven't read where yet. So give me a second. I'm soon going to grab this and tell you where this is. Why is this thing not updating? But yeah, thanks to Renee. She always keeps on top of the news. So at least 6 people have been killed in a shooting at Walmart in Virginia. You're not safe anywhere in America. You're not even safe in a friggin' Walmart? Like, seriously? Oh, my God. This was last night, 10:15 p.m. And I personally, I like to go when it's really late, when nobody's in a Walmart. You know, when they had the 24-hour Walmarts, I think since COVID, a lot of them don't even do 24 hours anymore in Miami. But when they had the 24-hour Walmart, you know, I'm that person who wants to go at 11 o'clock at night. Nobody in the aisles. You know, you get a couple weirdos that come out in their pajamas and their bonkers cheeks showing and the pants all the way down to knees, you know, but I don't even be paying them no mind. I just ignore them. Now you can't even feel safe going in a Walmart because some crazy shooting incident could potentially happen. So at least 6 people dead in Chesapeake, Virginia, Tuesday night after an employee opened fire in the employee's break room. Oh my God. Somebody must have put something in his tea, child. He didn't have the good mint tea we got here in the Caribbean. Somebody upset him. Wow, employees. Oh man, that is messed up. So Fit Foodie, we got a backup stream for YouTube. Just go and search Cayman Mall Road and you shall see that there's 2 of them. This one has the logo. Let me show you what it looks like now, honey chill. Hold on. This one has the logo for my little thing that David custom made for me. Everywhere I go, big shout out to David at Prodigy. Everywhere I go and I have my Caymanian, whether it's the coat of arms, you hardly ever see me wear the flag because that is like for really, really special occasions. I do wear it. Let me see here, Cayman Mall Road. So there's actually more than one Cayman Mall Road, essentially, on Facebook, on YouTube. So one has a regular logo and the backup channel has the little, what's it called? It has the, it has it's a totally different logo. So it's like the coin, it's not really a coin, but David actually made me a custom CMR pendant. And so it is that pendant. It is gorgeous. Have you seen my CMR pendant? I don't wear it as often either because I feel like, oh my gosh, it's so special. He custom makes stuff for people. He is like, oh my goodness. I talk about David and get all choked up. He's an amazing artist. Let me see if I can open the stream without giving too much feedback. Hold on. So everything else is the same. Let me show it to you all 1 second. Hold on. But the logo is the gold thing, just so that we can differentiate between the 2. All right, here we go. So this is what it looks like. So you see that logo up there? So this is the backup channel. Obviously, it doesn't have as many people following it, only 277 subscribers. The other one has like almost 5,000. But it's, if you're looking on YouTube, it's at Cayman Mall Road, Cayman. The other one is just at Cayman Mall Road. This one is at Cayman Mall Road, Cayman. So I'm going to stick it here in today's chat so that you guys can get it. Save it, because when we have issues with one, we go to the next one. Hallelujah. Backup plan. That's what you call a plan B. Not the plan B pill, just a plan B. All right, moving along. Thank you for the good question. Aliana says, crypto has gone the way of the dodo bird. Yeah, boy, I remember the day. Let me tell y'all, everybody was into this crypto business, Bitcoin and this and that, and people calling me heavy. Oh, Sandy, you're an influencer. You must get on and tell people this could secure their future. You know, this, not the next thing. I was like, do y'all know me? I'm a very conservative person with certain things. I don't take big chances when it comes to money, child, because I don't have a whole lot to waste. So you're not going to be getting me with no Ponzi scheme and no promises of, oh yeah, give us $500 and you get $20,000 back. Remember when they were doing those, that was last year, right? when they were doing all these blossom circles and friendship circles, and y'all telling me, oh, Sandy, you got to get in this, man. We making so much money. I was like, I say, yeah, you sit there. I said, honey, child, some people called me for advice. And like, what do you think I should do? And I said, save your money. Go invest in a piece of property. Put it down on a piece of land, something that will give you some long-term benefits. You're wasting your money. And I said, when the bottom falls out, it is going to fall out hard. Y'all never listen to me. I was like, yes, don't fool with that. And a lot of people, they claim they got their money, like all pyramid schemes. When it starts out, it's only successful because you keep recruiting people, right? There's a finite number of people in this jurisdiction that you could possibly recruit. You're never going to be able to recruit people like me. So forget about it. Forget about it. Don't even call me, right? So the first couple hands, the first couple turnovers, you can do good. And the whole idea behind it is now you can go tell everybody, oh my gosh, I just got a big payout. You need to join. Look, here's my money. Y'all be flashing the money, taking pictures. Speaking of which, there was a, what were they called? Blossoms or friendship circles or whatever. There was this woman who was involved in it. She's actually now come back to Cayman. She ran from the jurisdiction. And I have to wonder if the police is not going to be charging some of these individuals. So let me see if I can find some stories. Oh, girl, we did a bunch of pyramid. We did a bunch of stories on this. Yes, child. A bunch of them was running from Honduras. Blossom Circle fiasco. There was one woman up East End. Remember, she was crying, sending out her voice notes about, oh, she's so sorry. She didn't know. Hold on. Let me show you this one. This and that. And people must forgive her because she's a Christian. I said, a Christian? And you doing this? You better try and check what the Bible really says. Remember her? This poor woman begs for forgiveness after failed Blossom Circle fiasco. A Guyanese singer fell victim to Forex scheme. Child, y'all are just gullible. That's all. Remember this one from Honduras? And there was another one, Tisha, something her name was. She ran off to Honduras as well. So this one ran from Honduras. Jenny Smith. She was a pyramid scam organizer. But y'all were falling for this. People were even saying to me, but Sandy, there's like custom officers and high-ranking government officials. And I said, all that means is that they're gullible. That don't mean nothing. Just because you're a high-ranking government official don't mean you have no sense. Trust and believe that. Okay? So I'm sorry to tell you, but that's not going to convince me. I look at them and I question a lot of decisions they make, even within the civil service, honey child, much less. No. So it was her, the sister, one bunch of them was involved in it. Oh, yes, there was Tasha Monteroso. Okay, now she left for Honduras by boat too. She ran off. Well, my sources tell me that Tasha is back in Cayman. I don't think Tasha has status. She has Caymanian children for a bracker, but I don't believe she has status. So that means that somebody got to take out a work permit for her now. And I do have to wonder, now that she's back, are the police going to be talking to her about this? Because she had people said that they were promised a sizable return on their initial investment of between $400 and $500. And some people invested multiple hands because y'all believe you got money. No, sir. And so she owed a lot of money to people. She left. Has it been a year yet? October. Yeah, she waited an entire year, made y'all forget about your money, and now she's back. The police needs to do something about these types of situations to nip them in the bud. But what you find, the police just can't be bothered. They're like, y'all, we busy trying to solve other crimes. Seriously. Anyway, she's back. Talk to her about your money if you're still looking for your money. She promised to pay people back. So Elizabeth says, I've never found anything comfortable at Sawgrass, not even Crocs. Really? Sawgrass. Well, it's such a big mall that I suspect you could probably be in there for days and not find what you're looking for. But they have specific stores. So they have a naturalizer store, and naturalizer shoes tend to be very, very comfortable. And they also have, you know which one I buy a lot of these days? They do have a Croc store, but I wear non-traditional Crocs, not the ones that people look at and actually can tell that they're Crocs. They also have a, oh Lord, hold on here now. Let me tell you. There's another shoe brand that I wear a lot of that now I can't even remember. I'll see if I can find it. But they do have specific stores. And the other day when I was in Miami, they had like a buy one, get one. Maybe it was like 50% off or something. I can't remember. When I remember the name of it, I'll tell you. But yeah, I do a lot of orthopedic type shoes because, you know, this is an island after all, and we're living the island life. So Clarks, I do buy a lot of Clarks. I feel like I have to go bigger in a Clark though, because they're not quite as wide. But yeah, they have a Clark store there, and they have Clark like little wedges and, you know, little shoes. So you gotta know how to shop when you're looking for deals in America, I find. And I'm a very good shopper. I could be a professional shopper for deals. People go into like a Marshalls or TJ Maxx and they're like, oh, Sandy, I can't find nothing up in here. I said, listen, maybe because I used to work retail in the States. You guys know I worked in retail, right? I was assistant store manager. I even worked in jewelry. That's so when I go into jewelry store now, I know how to be marking up stuff. They don't be hoodwinking me, honey child. I'm like, ooh, let me tell you what I'm willing to pay for that piece. How many carats did you say? What's the quality and clarity of the carats, the cut, da-da-da-da? And I said, right, this is what I'm going to pay for it. And they're like, this girl drives a hard bargain. That's because I know a little thing or two. But yes, I was going to say that there is a method to the madness called shopping, and you have to kind of know how to do it. And they organize stores in a particular way, and you got to listen. I can move quick, and I'm in and out, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. So yes, I would invite you shopping with me, Elizabeth, except I don't tend to like people shopping with me, none at all. Because they be slowing me down, honey child. I'd be like, oh, get out the way. I got to go. Next stop. KK says, imagine the money Webb was making and had to steal all of that money, just being greedy. I love how you spell greedy. Greedy. Yeah, boy, I will never for the world of me understand the Canova situation and the Jeff Webb situation. There has to be a limit to how much money you need. Is there a limit? Let me ask you all this question. Maybe I'm just being naive. Could you have too much money? Like what do you think the upward limit is? Well, what do you think? Is there such a thing as too much money? For me, I'm gonna think about this for a minute. Because I could spend a lot of money on community projects, things for children, dogs and pets, and so not for personal use, but I think, right, if I had access to, now you use whatever you have, but just saying it, if money was no object, if somebody walked up to me, say, who's the richest man in the world now? Is it still Elon Musk? Oh, God, I wouldn't want him walking up to me. That the crazy, he'd give it to you and then he'd be an Indian giver. Take it back. Oh, geez, no, I couldn't deal with him. No. I think I would be, maybe I'll talk to Jeff Bezos because he claims he wants to give away a lot of his money. It seems like the wife is making him look really bad. So last week he announced that he wants to give up his money too. But let me think about this. Is there such a thing as enough? Good morning, caller.
Hello. Sorry, Sandy. How you doing? Good morning.
I'm good. How are you?
Listen, Sandy, I got up at 7:30 this morning, and I'm a little bit disappointed with your show this morning.
Oh, geez, I'm peace because you wanted to get straight into marriages of convenience.
No, I wanted spiritual Wednesdays. What's happened to my spiritual Wednesdays, Sandy? Come on. I was waiting for my spiritual Wednesday. You had medical Tuesdays. Come on now. Listen, what's up? Listen, the whole thing of it, I listened to the whole Jeff Webb situation, right? What I don't understand is that, Canola and everybody went to prison and dealt their time. Now you got these people, smaller people who are scamming people out of money and doing this, and nothing is being done to them. If you think about it, they made a big example out of these two people, but the other people are just getting slapped on the wrist, go back home, reset, and come back.
Yeah, there is a difference, though, so in what was done.
I understand, but a thief is a thief.
Yeah, well,
yes. And the whole thing of it is too, someone got to think about changing. I mean, I know Cayman was all up in arms about, the whole Cayman Bay situation, going, oh, well, they're going to change the name to Cayman, whatever. I think they're going to change this name to Scam Island. Because come here, we can scam you.
Yeah, right now to the marriages.
Seriously. You know what I mean? Marriage by convenience has been going on for years. That's why, they had to started doing the whole DNA, and if the baby belonged to the father, the babies came on in, and the blah 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 blah. That's been going on since, as far as I recall, since the 80s. Marriage by convenience. But I'm sorry, but if you're gonna get married to somebody, how is it convenient? By paper. That's not convenient. Because number one, she's gonna do whatever she's gonna do, and this island's way too small. And there's no way someone's gonna do it. I am sorry, let me just put a name out to everybody. If you think that you're all gonna get married by convenience on this island with Cayman Road on the road, that's not gonna happen. That's saying.
Say that again. If you're going to
Cayman get married on this island by convenience. And we have, back in the day, they used to be able to do it and get away with it. But when you have Cayman Road on the road, that's not going to happen.
Sean, we can't keep up with them. We can talk about that here now, but we can't keep up with these marriages of convenience because there's so many of them.
And just so you know, Cayman First Insurance should be, we're first not to pay the doctors. We're first to be put on the road. I mean, seriously, they got to do better. They're first to do everything.
You're bringing all the jokes in this morning, my love. What
a
mess.
We're first to shut our employees up. We're first to put a, come on. Anyway, Sandy, you have a good day. And we'll be first to make you happy on a Wednesday.
Yes.
Happy Wednesday, guys.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, he had me cracking up there. All right. Let's take a commercial break. So I'm keeping an eye on the time because, we don't have no overtime coming this morning. So let's get this show on the road. Let's go and take a commercial break and let's talk about our favorite topic, marriages of convenience. Hold on. I need some special effects on this one. Hold on now. Let me see now. Megaphone. Marriages of convenience coming right up. Get your ticket, folks. Sign up today. Hot mess. Come back home. It's November, and November is Gimme Story. The Cayman Islands National Cultural Foundation presents in your district Gimme Story, the Cayman Islands National Storytelling Festival. 6 evenings of free entertainment for the entire family from November the 25th to December the 2nd. Guests arrive at 7 p.m. and show starts at 7:30 p.m. Come on out, because nobody's going to be left behind. We got you covered. West Bay, East End, North Side, Bordentown, Georgetown, and even Cayman Brac. Everyone is going to enjoy a bit of Cayman's history via storytelling. This year, we have the best of Cayman's homegrown and resident storytellers that Anna know from Anna Born, including Rita Eskavanovich, Nasaria Sakushalet, Matt Brown, King Navasa, Giovanni Ebanks, and a host of others. For more information, visit artscayman.org or visit the Facebook page and Instagram page at Cayman Culture. Vote for the best fish fry in every district and wash it down with a little swanky. Did I mention that you get in for free? And they're starting in time, so try and hurry up. Give me a story. That's going to be a good time this year, so don't miss out. Folks, Give Me a Story begins in Cayman Brac on Friday. So make sure you get ready. You go out and you participate and you enjoy. One message, of course, again, Cayman Classics. Today is the last day, so go and enjoy some of the matches.
Get ready, sports fans. The Cayman Islands Classic NCAA Division I basketball tournament is back at the John Gray Gymnasium from November 21st to 23rd. Come out and enjoy 3 days of nonstop competitive basketball action featuring Kansas State, Western Kentucky, Rhode Island, Nevada, Tulane, Illinois State, Akron, and LSU, who will battle it out on the court for the coveted Cayman Classic Tournament trophy. Witness as some of college basketball's best coaches rally their teams together in this 3-day head-to-head nonstop competitive basketball competition. Get all your tournament passes and general admission tickets today online at eventpro.ky or CaymanIslandClassic.com. November 21st through 23rd, presented by KMAX Sports and proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Tourism and Transport, the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture, and Heritage, Tortuga, The Westin, Smoothie King, Cayman Cabana, Captain Marvin's, Cost You Less, Fast Signs, and Flow.
All right, folks, I doubt it'll be. Okay, welcome back. Just checking a little bit of something here with the audio. All right, so let's talk about marriages of convenience, y'all. I mean, honestly, I do not know what else to say about this topic, except that it seems to be happening on a fairly regular occurrence. Yes. So it continues to happen with a degree of regularity that unfortunately is really, really alarming. And the government is going to have to come up with a plan to address this forthwith. They thinking about it. They're trying to work on it. They're doing their best, and yet it's just always something. You can't change. This is where I think we, the people, have to make a decision about what it is that we want in this country. Because there's only so much that the government can do. Yeah? You cannot change the mindset of your people. You can put things in place to punish your people when they do certain things. However, you cannot change the way that they think. The way society thinks is changed by other things. Sometimes you think a certain way because there's the pressure that's put on you by other members of the community to say, hey, this is enough. You know, y'all are ruining this country with these marriages of convenience. And, you know, we need to make it a shameful act to be involved in a marriage of convenience. It's not something that we should be applauding, that we should be encouraging. When you know that it is happening, you have an obligation, like any other wrongdoing in our communities, to report it. Now, the last caller said, report it to CMR, but we have one we will be talking about this morning, because it's certainly not the first one that has been reported to us. But the correct authorities is to report it to WORC. Now, y'all argue with me all the time. Sandy, we report stuff to WORC, and they're not paying attention. They're not doing nothing about it. They don't care. We get nowhere. But once we report it to you, all of a sudden, action, action, action. It's sad. Now, oops. My apologies. I'm trying to delete some of my overlays here. So, let's look at the last one that kicked off the conversation during the week. So there's a guy who apparently, I don't know if this is a male or female because it doesn't actually specify, but I suspect it's a man, who said that they're looking for Caymanians. So they actually sent this. They didn't send this to us, Honey Child, because we had the little African one who sent it, and we posted that, and afterwards he was regretting it. He's like, Miss, can you please take that down? I said, Honey Child, I did ask you before I posted it. Are you sure you want me to post this? And you said yes. But you looking for nice little Caymanian woman? I was like, why? So here we go. They sent this one to everything 345. There's not Cayman. There's not CMR. It says, greetings. The English kind of good still, Can you kindly assist me by posting on your Instagram, please? I'm a single Jamaican. Doesn't specify man or woman. It would have been helpful, though, because then who would be applying? I'm a single Jamaican who's humble, king, I think that's supposed to be kind, caring, loving, with brown complexion. Let me just pause right there for a second. Say what? You got brown complexion? Ooh, honey child. Let's move you up the top of the list. Not. What do you mean? Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Y'all know that some people are hyper-focused on the pigmentation and complexion color, right? So in Jamaica, if you're a brownie, not the kind that you eat, because that's the only kind I'd be interested in, not that kind of brownie. But if you're another kind of brownie, as in the complexion of your skin, they find you more attractive. And it also means that they're probably going to save money on bleaching cream. They're not going to have to supply you with any bleaching cream because you're already brown. Yeah, what a hot mess. Anyway, kind, caring, loving, with brown complexion. I'm looking for single Caymanian. Again, doesn't specify it's a man or woman. Maybe they're open to anything. To get married to, preferably someone between the age of 28 to 38 years old. Age can be above what I've given, though. Ooh, they're willing to be flexible in the age, honey child. Hear that now? You'll take an old man if everything else is right. Or old woman. I've been involved with a few Caymanians below 28. Yes, sir. And it turns out that it didn't work out because of their lifestyle. Okay. I'm a Jamaican youngster. This makes me believe that this is a man, actually, that's writing this. I'm a Jamaican youngster who's looking to settle down and have a committed relationship. Aw, mess with him. Please post, and I'll be looking at the comments, and then I'll send my number if I see anyone who seems to be serious and wants the same. Thanks. Well, they're well-mannered, so thanks and greetings. This is a little bit interesting, though. I must tell you, I saw this, and it did make me chuckle a little bit. There's some aspects of it that are interesting. He talks about the age requirement, because a lot of Caymanians, he said he's already been involved with a few. Below 28, turns out that they're that didn't work out because of their lifestyle. I guess they're young and immature, so he's not really looking for that. He wants to settle down. But my question is, why a Caymanian? Why do you need a Caymanian? This is where the query then of arranged marriages, it's not arranged marriages, it's marriages of convenience in this country. This is where the concept of marriages of convenience then come into play. And people go, oh, what is this exactly? Why do you want a Caymanian? That's my first question. Jamaicans, anybody in the house listening? What is it about a Caymanian that could possibly be attractive to you? When people hear that being a criteria, and sounds like your number one criteria, this is where people go, that sounds like somebody who wants a marriage of convenience. Because as much as I love my Caymanian people, there's really not a whole lot that's special about Caymanians when it comes to that sort of thing. You have good and bad. You have black and white and mixed in between. You have crazy, not so crazy, some that love to party. You got some with money, some that broke, some that mature, some that are immature. It's like anywhere else in the world. It's a mixed bag. So the fact that you're asking for a relationship with a Caymanian as a Jamaican or any other nationality does make it seem really weird. Like, why? Why do you need a Caymanian? Jamaican people are just as good. Honduran people are just as good. Americans are just as good. If you're really looking for like love or compatibility, because there's this construct of love that, we got to talk about a little bit during this program too. A nationality isn't tied to finding the ideal mate. In fact, most people find that they want to share their culture with people who are similarly minded. Okay. What does that mean? Well, it is a little bit easier to, when you have certain things in common, you don't have to explain certain things to your partner. Explaining your love of cricket, dominoes, mango, and sauce. I remember when I first started dating and I started talking about, oh my God, I have this love for mangoes. And, my Sri Lankan boyfriend was kind of like, okay. When he saw it, I think he kind of got it because it's kind of like a pickled situation. My American ex-husband, even worse. He's like, you want what? Mangoes and who? There's certain things that it would be nice just not to have to explain in a relationship. That someone isn't attractive because of where they're from necessarily. To me, that shouldn't be the top of the list. Now, let's be honest. We all might have a preference. I think that sometimes we have like a certain look that we're attracted to. You know what they say, Oedipus complex, where you kind of look for like someone who looks like your mom or looks like your dad, which is kind of weird when you think about it. But, I think that there are certain things. I think my husband actually married his mother in a weird kind of way. Because when I met her, I was like, oh, Jesus. She's a little bit too close to me in personality. Even the looks department a little bit too. And I was like, I could see how there might be a little mother complex there. Because we are very, very similar. It's the kind of person where you can only spend so much time with them because they remind you of you. Right? We're both loud. Like we both talk a lot. That's why during movies, he calls me Norma. That's his mother's name. He said, all right, Miss Norma. Because we talked during the movies, like, oh my gosh. And he's like, okay, Miss Norma. Because his mother does the exact same thing. She, like me, has multiple degrees. She's well educated. She's an entrepreneur. She's a hustler. She's, we have a lot of similarities. Let's put it that way. So I can understand why people might be attracted to certain people. And to be honest, I love a good looking Indian man. Now, I don't think all Indian men are good looking, so don't get me wrong. And I haven't quite figured out what region of India looks like. I think that there's differences. Like I have noticed differences. But I don't know enough about the regions to probably say, oh, I kind of like this region more than that one. But, I think we have preferences. And not to sound prejudicial, but there are some people that physically I'm like, they're not really all that attractive. But if you have a good personality, I think, listen, personality can win over anybody. Because I've seen people that I'm like, oh, not really cute, but if the personality is winning, honey child, you look past the looks. Have you ever done that before? You got in a relationship and you're like, oh God, this person is really not cute. If you had kids with them, you're hoping that your genes kick in. But then, you're like, oh, but the personality is popping. We have a lot in common. Let's try a thing. Yeah. But to say, I want a Caymanian, to me is weird. Why do you want a Caymanian? What is it? What does being a Caymanian bring to the table? What do you think? They're going to be able to cook local food? You want some fish run down? What is it? There's only one thing you could be looking for, honey child, that a Caymanian has that nobody else not got. And that's called status. And this is the sad part. You've already had a few Caymanians. You said it never worked out. So maybe the Caymanian's not really for you. Maybe that's not your cup of tea, honey. Go find something else. Now, the problem is, we know, as the caller said, from time This concept of marriages of convenience has been a situation. Let's have a baseline definition when we say, what's a marriage of convenience? Let's talk about what that even means. Because I know if Al Ebanks was on the show, I haven't seen Al in a minute. Where's Al these days? If Al was here, if Al was here, he would say all marriages are marriages of convenience. And I thought about it, and I think that Al has a point up to a point. Let me explain. So you look for practicalities, I think, if you're smart in relationships. Some of y'all ain't smart. You're talking about you're looking for love, and I'm like, that ain't gonna last. So you want things in common. And I suppose what Al means is, you're looking for someone who brings something to the table. Is that a marriage of convenience, though? To me, that's not a marriage of convenience. That's a marriage of common sense. Right? So that's not convenience. That's, I want somebody who has a job. I want someone who can pay half the mortgage. Or if I'm going to pay the mortgage, they pick up the insurance or they pick up other bills. My spouse has to be of a particular caliber, craftsman, professional. You don't want no deadbeat daddy. To me, these are very good practical things. This is not a marriage of convenience. This is a marriage of common sense. Introduce some common sense into your matchmaking, right? So asking that someone bring something to the table isn't a marriage of convenience. Asking that they bring a particular nationality to the table, that then becomes a little something different. That's where I'm like, oh, what? Why? Somebody said marriage is like a shoe. Did y'all hear this one? I thought this one was interesting. Have a listen to this.
Marriage is like a shoe. Well, like a journey in a shoe. Yeah, hold that for me. At some point in time, no matter what you do, how tight you tie, you're gonna get a pebble in your shoe. What? What most people don't know, hell, some of y'all up in here right now don't know, that a good marriage gives you permission to face that pebble before it becomes a boulder. Because limping ain't living. Baby girl, I want to tell you what I wish someone would have told me and your father. You gotta face that pebble. Whatever it is. Don't let it fester, tearing up your foot. I was stubborn and didn't take my shoes off a few times. And it cost me a lot. And I don't want that for you.
What did a woman say? Good advice. Marriage is like a shoe. Lord Jesus. So, needless to say, when you are looking for someone of a particular nationality, that's not really a requirement. Like, I would need to hear some logical argument as to why you need a Caymanian. And I do mean logical. They don't make no sense. Like I said, Caymanians no better or no worse in marriages than anybody else. And when you have 50% of marriages out there that are falling apart at any rate, you got a 50% success rate. Child, if you make it to 10 years, you better pat yourself on the back and say, hallelujah, praise the Lord. And people out there trying to purposely steal your spouses and your husbands and everything else in between. It's a rough world out there. But I don't think you need to pick a Caymanian to have a good relationship. In fact, some could easily argue that you would be better off picking somebody else. I'm just saying. Well, let me have a look here now. Perla says this marriage of convenience is so common, I think is what that was supposed to be, in Cayman. Alejandra says it's a public occurrence. Public or frequent? Oh gosh, Ms. Vernita says that she needs the, sorry to be off topic, but I'm asking the HSA, the Department of the Wheelchair Pickup Van, to answer the phone, to answer the phone, a person to be pick up. Okay, we'll send that to Lizette for you. She'll get on it. I heard a story, by the way, but I'm not going to get into this right now, about a bunch of people leaving HSA. What's going on? Anyway, answer the phone, somebody over at, I don't know what section that is, but whoever deals with wheelchair pickups, somebody requires your services, so please answer. Let me see here now. Real Deal says Cayman as we know it is no longer. We can't blame previous governments for this, although they played their part. Too many Caymanians lack intelligence or conscience to care about Cayman. Yes, Real Deal. We have to put the blame where the blame lies. The blame can't be with the government. The government doesn't force you into marriages of convenience. They don't encourage marriages of convenience. In fact, they have made it illegal. And if they can prove it, they will prosecute you. I don't know what the sentence is. I'm willing to bet that it's probably not all that much. And it probably could be more. Maybe that is where they could do a better job. But the government, honestly, cannot save you from your own stupidity. So if Caymanians insist on these relationships of convenience, and y'all are the dummies that are destroying this country in the sake of helping somebody else and for a couple dollars. And you know what grieves me the most about these marriages of convenience? It's just a monetary transaction. It's not for like, oh, I'm going to marry someone who is going to bring value to this relationship. Yeah? No, you got to give me $500 a month. You have to give me $1,000 a month. And you'd be surprised the number of Caymanians that are so lazy that they will sell their country down the river and make their money off of some desperate individual who wants to be able to stay in this country at any cost. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. Well, I want to give my life story. Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
My mother.
I can just join another call with you while you're talking, but go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Miss Charlene. Sorry.
That I don't have any for this moment.
You were a little bit garbled up. Say that again.
I say my mother didn't make me sleep any more than a cloud in a storm last night.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And for me just tuning in now, for you in Real Deal to insult me with the absolute truth. It's hurtful. There is no today for me. It finished already. Yes, ma'am. No, but one time, one of our politicians' mantra was, he keeping out people's bedroom. This should have been looked at a long time ago. What are you going to do with all the hangers-oners that we have here, treating people badly? And yes, it's our fault, treating people badly, and blah, 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 blah. But and people were complaining to the clown, complaining vociferously. And I keep that people's bedroom, but I got up my bedroom. That been going on for a long time ago. But anyway, thanks for the topic. I'm tuned. Bye-bye.
Thanks, my dear. All right, next caller. Thank you and welcome to the program.
Yeah, Miss Sunday.
Hello, my darling. How are you?
Good.
You have an answer
yes.
for me this morning about what makes Caymanians attractive. That's the first criteria.
Well, if you ask me, I don't think there's a nationality in this world that is more unique than Caymanians. But other than that, when they specify Caymanians, you know the reason for real, right? But you imagine now you meeting somebody you really love, and you end up meeting their parents or meeting their siblings because maybe the parents are not available, or some family members, could even be friends. Associate with the people that they are amongst, because these are the people that they care for at the same time. And if you don't even introduce them to your children, then that means that that's definitely a marriage inconvenience.
Okay. So you're saying that one of the things you would look for is whether or not they're introduced to family members.
Yeah, exactly. And especially if they have children, because if they don't even want to state that they have children, no, sometimes they use the children to influence and encouragement. Why not? Now, as an example, like what you were saying, that the breed of the individual that you're looking for, maybe some people want a straight, cooler hair, or, they're looking for that specific gene as well. So that's where it can come into, you're looking for that specific.
But Caymanians kind of run the gamut. That's what I was saying. We come in all shapes and sizes and colors. And so just because you're interested in Caymanian.
It's a preference,
Yeah.
I used to have a different mentality when I was 18 and under. And then when I got into the 21, I changed that preference, or maybe 23, it changed again. And then 25, it gradually changed again.
So you wasn't going for the straight hair anymore?
I mean, in some, and like I said, like a man looks for a beautiful,
And I mean, what you consider beauty definitely changes, as you say, through the years. So your criteria changed.
Like you start looking for someone that is actually looking for something just like you, instead of just looking for that thing you got. Instead, trying to build something as well. Because I believe in a marriage is 50-50. And it's all because of the investment that you make together. Because after you're married, it's almost like it's a financial crisis afterwards.
Well, you're going to have to split it 50-50 when you're divorced. So you might as well be putting in 50-50 during the relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what baffles me? When, like what you said, it is illegal in this island. Now, I think I mentioned it to you one time, but it kind of straight off topic. I never really concentrated on that too long, because certain little things that was out of my power. Because apparently we have this thing called how you call it? Not convenience, interest. Something conflict of interest, right?
Conflict, yes.
And, I just learned in this whole entire law stuff. And I wish I concentrated on it, but I think that COVID gave us a little time to sit down and study, right? But when you marry a woman, like just say for an individual, a man marries a woman and use their disability to the highest advantage as possible. Their disability. Now, I state disability because I believe that how you say, a mental patient cannot give you consent. I believe that a handicap cannot give you consent. I believe a child cannot give you consent.
Definitely.
It doesn't matter the age as well. So this is why I'm stating the certain disorders or disabilities that they might have. So now in the example, my mother was a mental patient for over 15 years that I know of. And I had to deal with some of that struggle throughout my life. And I see she gets in a relationship. I don't like when a woman gets in a relationship. I love it because they need that backbone. A man need that backbone as well, but it's more of an encouragement. That's how I feel. Now, when that man abuses that disability that my mother had, that she was a mental. My mother was a very, very sensitive person to when it comes into children. You could have an 18-year-old son or a daughter and she would still love that like that was her own. So she would be brainwashed into that is love. You know, like when you think that, oh, I love that child where he is or she is, but I love her so much, I left her back where I'm leaving from. I don't want her back here. But then you're not interested in knowing who the parents' children are. You know, like, you know what really hurt me when my mother got married before she passed away was that she put a picture of the husband's daughter up on replaced me and my sister, you know. I was mentally being distracted. Now my mom had suffered anxiety, depression, and bipolar. And we all know bipolar is triggered by anxiety. And anxiety is a fine line, you know. Like when you separate anxiety, it separates anxiety and excitement. It's a fine line in between the both. I remember my mom used to get excited to get in cars. Like when she buy her new car, like she got sick of this one this month, she got a next one next month. You know, that kept her going. She would stay up all night listening to music inside that car. That got me ticking. I mean, that got me like I can't sleep. I worried about my mom outside by herself, enjoying this brand new car. And you know, that would trip her. Now, the excitement of certain news that she would get trips her. I can speak about it because I know I lived with my mother. It takes a person, you have to live and follow them. Now, when my mother comes to me and say, I getting married tomorrow now, Bobo, I like, I don't believe that. Come on, you're talking crap to me. You know, like, I don't believe that arrangement. And then little did I know, I see this guy comes to the front door with a wedding cake. Like, what the hell, the day already done and you bring a wedding cake? Like, you know.
So
and I can tell
long
you,
did how long did he know her for before they got married?
This is the thing now, Miss Sandy. The lady, my mother had a boyfriend before this. A few months, I would say, before this, and I found out that they got separated. And I didn't know because she never tells me anything. You know, her decisions is like a out of the blue decision. And she got separated from this boyfriend that she had for 7 years, you know. And I was okay with this guy. He was a mechanic. His name was Bigger. He's dead too. And the guy was the coolest guy I ever met. Like, the only thing I rate the man is when my mom get in her episode, he said, yo, Allah, you have to deal with this.
He couldn't deal with the situation then.
Yeah, but because he knew that I had the next of king status to say what goes next. Because I carries my mom to mental health clinic up here in HSA.
Right.
And I was the one responsible. If it wasn't me, her sister. It was her sister that was part to do that. And you know, when we lost that privilege after she got married, you know that she had an episode and we had a very, very big emergency to admit her into the hospital. She's at the hospital already. They don't want to accept her because we are not able to admit her to the hospital. Where is the husband? You know, like, it started from there and it triggered me. And that happened for years until just only within a year until she got into the hospital, bedridden. Just within a year, bedridden.
Wow.
Miss Sandra, because it wasn't held attention to when it needed, because we don't have no rights no more after we sign our life off to some individual that we don't care about. All just for convenience. And you know, she talked to my aunt and said, because she gets excited and she don't care who she tells anything to, as long as she feels confident that the person is not going to speak about her information, right? And my mom had a big connection with her grand aunt, or her aunt, what she would call her, right? Aunt-in-law. And she told me, and I know she's not going to tell me a lie, she told me that this guy offered to get a car for her, and that got her excited. I would call out some names, right? But I don't want to go in misinformation because it just leads into something else that could be in prosecution as well. I'm not in for that, right? The thing done, gone. My mama dead. I lost all of my whatever, but you know, I say life.
I'm sorry to hear
goes
that. Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I had no response from my mother for 3 years straight, and it could have been a little bit longer because I didn't calculate the months yet. But I couldn't say nothing to her with a response back. And watching her deteriorate in the bed because of a marriage inconvenience that nobody wants to acknowledge, because you know she died with her rightful last name, E-Bank.
So she never took
in
his
the
name?
hospital. They had her registered as E-Bank.
Oh, that's strange. Why didn't she take his name?
Thank you. I asked the doctor the same thing, and I'm thinking, baffling in my head, like, is this guy literally had did a divorce that I didn't know nothing about or something? Did I win back my right? And then when it comes into the who gets the benefits, I getting 20%, me 25%, my sister getting 25%, and he getting the 50%, the whole cut that he didn't even invest in. This is the same thing I was talking about with the 50-50. Not a single dollar he invested in my mother, much less even lived with her. Miss Sandra, I'm wondering if there's anything in the history book that says that the editor that has been arrested for marriage inconvenience, although it's so damn illegal. Thank you. Please just.
So wait a minute. You said that they were not living.
No, they were not living together. I have proof. I can get it in written and vocal if you need it. I have proof that this man. I personally was living with my mother at that moment that they were married, and he came and knocked on my door and bring my mother laundry. I was like, I just gonna keep my cool because I don't want to be struck by national biasness.
Yeah. So she was a maid. She was a maid for him, not a wife.
Thank you. And it went worse after I left, because apparently my mother was left without a apartment to stay in. I was helping her pay because NAU was reckless enough to cut down on all the amount of expenses that they can handle from her. And the worst part about it, the calculations could have been right in the bank account. This man been taking money from my mama's bank account while she was in the hospital. Because of obvious possession of belongings goes to the next of kin, right?
Yes. Oh my God. So let me ask you a question. I know you're hesitant to say where he's from, but I think this is part of the problem. That if we have to acknowledge these situations, I really appreciate you sharing this personal story, because I know this can't be easy for you, especially knowing that you've lost your mom. But people need to recognize and see these marriages of convenience for what they are, and to also hear the harm that they do to people. The harm that it has done to you.
When you bring your proof.
Yeah. Where is he from? Where was the husband? Where was the husband from?
Jamaica. And I have no discrimination against Jamaicans, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't make it feel insulting, because I have best friends that are Jamaicans. My workers that work with me is Jamaican. I have family that are Jamaican.
I mean, it is what it is. If that's where he's from, then that's where he's from. The sad part for me though is in Cayman. In Cayman, the majority of people who are engaging in this, it's Jamaicans and Caymanians. It's a fact. If anybody's listening to this and they're insulted by that, that is a fact.
Including the police problem as well. Immigration soon be the same way. I'm not gonna say immigration work, because their work is taking immigration's problems as well. Because it took me 6 months to get my daughter acknowledged as a Caymanian.
Wow.
6 months because of the stupid misinformation that work gave me. And Miss Sandy, I went inside of work frustrated the way I'm talking now, and I'm not coming inside of there violent to striking and border. I'm just sick and tight, and I'm trying to get my information right. Why is my process of my acknowledgement now taking two frustrating months? My acknowledgement now in Miss Sandra, and I have like generations of family here in the Cayman Islands. I say the Cayman Islands because it's all 3 countries as well. I have family everywhere. This is ridiculous how the government. I don't know if there's an auditor general that takes care of government's business, but I think they need somebody that go inside there with a vendetta mask, checking out what the system going on with. Because I go in immigration as well, and you know, the security officer in there, a particular lady, I gotta say it so that everybody could probably know the situation I'm talking about. She loves to criticize people, criticizing people to make her job a little bit more pleasure. You know, like when the president is around and then the jokers is around and then the king gets to laugh at them. Okay, well, these people are taking advantage of.
It's always done at the expense of somebody.
That they're renting. And I'm scared to talk, Miss Sandra. As long as I know I'm not telling a lie. As long as I know I'm not telling a lie. Prove me guilty.
Wow. Caller, we appreciate the phone call and the information. It's a sad situation, but I mean, it's a cautionary tale for other people. Y'all need to pay attention to what's going on. And of course, you know, your mother, whatever issues she may have had, she was still an adult, and I guess she could consent to what she was in, although she might not have fully appreciated it.
He never even asked my grandmother nothing. He never asked me. He never got to know none of the family members. I was shocked at who it is that she's married to.
Wow.
I would have said no, straight up. This can't happen. I'm sorry. Go back home if you can't make it. This woman I met to play with, my mom, was 58, 57 when she died.
Wow. Very young.
Yeah,
my condolences, sir. I really feel sorry about that situation, but thank you again for the call.
You're welcome.
All right, my dear. So we do have another caller. Good morning, caller, and welcome to the program.
Pleasant morning to you there, Sandy.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm not doing bad at all.
That was such
an
a
interesting
sad story.
topic.
Yes.
Very. I to be honest with you, there are not enough words because we're talking about a mother.
Yes.
You know, a child losing a mom. You know, it's a whole family. You know, a lot has been disrupted, and my heart goes out to that caller. I want to say this, you know, on national radio that I really and truly understand his pain. You can hear it in his voice. Yeah. It's a heavy topic, and sometimes we it's a topic that we really have to be careful about too, because you know, a lot of things can be said. It goes both ways, and you said some stuff that make a lot of sense as it relates to nationality. You know, we find these, you know, behavioral patterns or tendencies in every country. I traveled to the States already, and I was proposed to on the plane. I was on a plane to New York. And
you made such an impression on the lady. She proposed right on the plane.
No, and to be honest with you, Sandra, if I tell you the situation that led to it, I was there because I had taken my son to the States.
Yes.
He had gotten his papers and everything to migrate, so I took him on that flight. You know, the daddy duties because his mom was busy at the time too. Yes. Mommy was there, so. So, you know, she saw, I guess she saw the sadness, and she, you know, we engaged in a conversation. It's a long flight. She's right there next to me. What else is there to do? And, you know, I touched a little bit more on it. And then she said, you know, you sound like a man who a woman would be desirous of being with. And
on a flight?
Yeah, and, you know,
that was
on
quick.
a flight from JFK. Now, the red flags for me were, she told me she was a registered nurse. And she was in a relationship, a marriage, as a matter of fact, for 15 years. That was very abusive. She even has scars. As a matter of fact, there's some, I don't want to disclose much really, but she was injured badly. And as a result, she would have to probably be wearing cosmetic wigs for the rest of her life.
Oh, wow.
You know, to keep her appearance. So that was sad, you know. But then she said something. She said she was looking for 15 years. She wants 15 years of happiness, you know, something that, you know, looking forward to a relationship with somebody. And she was willing to pay for it, it seems, because then the next line of stuff and conversation that she mentioned would have led up to the whole financial gain and stuff. And I was in no rush. First thing, I wasn't even in the mindset to even start thinking about relationship, because I was going through a very emotional saga at the time, with relationship plus my child being separated from me and, I having to be traveling between two places. And I think this brings me to the story that I've called to tell you that led me to Cayman. Cayman became a destination for me because of that relationship that got broken up, that family that got broken up for me, right? Now, why do some persons find Caymanian attractive? I can't say, but I'm going to tell you why I found my Caymanian wife attractive. I am from Jamaica. I will say that. I am from Jamaica. And I might be bashed for this today if anybody know who I am. I don't know, but I don't care. I am married and I am happy. Now, there are preferences that people have. People have their preferences. Now, I understand, I know about convenient marriages because I told you I would have been in 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the United States because I lived there for a little while. And everybody wants to get married. I do a technical job, so you come with some form of stability, some form of financial benefits. Yeah, people want to marry for those stuff. People want to be secure. But for me, I found that when it comes to honesty and loyalty, Caymanian women have that. And I found a wife that has that. She and I would have been pursuing each other for a couple of years just to make sure that we were, compatible. It wasn't an easy fight, I'll be honest. But the good thing about it is I never had an issue with the family. I never had an issue fighting the family because I went to mommy and daddy and I presented myself and I told them of my interest. And this was after maybe 2 years of knowing her. And, they accepted the fact that, okay, they're seeing that, I've been coming around. And I tried to allow them to know me. Families were introduced, siblings, you name it. I told her of my situation before coming here because nobody comes with a clean slate. Nobody comes with a clean slate. There's always some form of complication. But I admire the fact that I found a female, and I'm not making it Caymanian now, because I have seen female of other culture that has these criteria or these qualities. Yes. However, it's who set you off. I mean, a woman walks into a room and she can tell you in a short while who her spirit or feelings take on to. You get me? It's not different from what we feel, but when you're going into a marriage, then you have to think deeper and go further. And I believe that I have found a Caymanian, being a Jamaican, and I am sure, I am positive, Sandra, if immigration or any other entity that wishes to seek out if there's any convenience in terms of marital consent or marital rights, then I'm ready. I will be the guinea pig for that. I promise you I want to do. Yes. Right? We can probably talk about that some other time because I heard about a story where a gentleman was taken off the island because of conversation that was found that he was having back home with a person being married to a Caymanian. When situations like that comes out into the open and it is found out and persons are met with the consequences, I am not against it. What I am against is don't set back the criteria for persons who are legitimately married to people, because there are legitimate marriages between Jamaicans and Caymanians, and I'm sure people know of that. And sometimes they say the good suffer for the bad sometimes, and that's a very unfortunate situation for persons to be in. I would not want to find myself in a situation like that, where I know the struggles that have been through in sustaining my marriage with a Caymanian. And then because I'm a Jamaican male, then I'm going to be subjected to these things based on somebody's, misfortune or misconduct. I believe that an entity should be put in place for proper investigation to be conducted in person's relationship, especially when it comes to the time when you're doing your residency or your naturalization or whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Put some more rigors in these in these these searches, so that
Yes.
the persons who really and truly are in love with their partners can feel comfortable.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Sandra,
listen,
it's not a nice feeling,
at the end of the day, it's always the bad apples that spoil the whole bunch, spoil the whole basket. I'm also married to Jamaican, and I would never want anyone to look at my relationship and question, oh, well, is this a marriage of convenience? Is he using Sandy, or maybe even vice versa? They might think I'm using him. I don't know. But, it's not a nice feeling to have people automatically make assumptions about your relationship just because you're married to someone of a particular nationality. But it's the bad ones out there who are doing it that makes it bad for all of us. And I think there's certain as the previous caller was saying, there are certain red flags that will make you go, wait a minute, this does not look like a bona fide relationship.
There you go. There you
really
go.
Sad.
There are red flags. There are red flags. I'm sad. It's a sad case that I have to say this, but I was forced into a situation already where I was to call off my wedding plans with my wife based on issues surrounding the whole issue of convenience and statements, and I felt like I was in the line of fire when certain comments were made, and I have kept it a secret from my wife. I haven't disclosed it to her. I have not allowed her to know that the reason behind some of these things are based on what was said to me. And I'm just happy that we kept the relationship alive even after, because then when she met with my mother and my family, she realized that, okay, and this meeting was not here in Cayman. She flew to Jamaica, where she had that conversation with my mom, with my family, to see that, hey, the person who you're getting is not just the person who wants to be there for convenience. Because I mean, like I told you, there are other options. There were other options, but it's who you see yourself with. It's a person that tickles your fancy. I mean, we finish each other's sentences. We're matching.
Yes.
We're doing the couples goal. We're doing all of that. I'm probably gonna be disconnected, but Sandra, I thank you for the opportunity of using this platform. As I said, my condolence to that gentleman I called earlier, and also thank you for the program that you're doing. But I guess we'll have to talk again because my credit is gonna cut. So thanks again for the opportunity.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much. All right, folks. 936 Bobo is the telephone number. We got a little bit of overtime. Granted. Thank you so much to Dave. Chuck is out today, but Dave hooked us up. So listen, folks, I mean, some really salient points from that caller. These marriages of convenience make it bad for everybody. And, sometimes people think that they can insult you. I've had people do this to me. No, Sandy married a Jamaican. And then they try to insult me because I'm married to a Jamaican. I'm like, honey, child, please. You can't insult me. I'm like, you only allow people into your head. You heard what I just said? You allow them into your head. So while y'all out there trying to scandalize people, I've seen people go so low to try to say things, right? And I'm just like, I'm not going to take you on because you're an idiot. And someone being a Jamaican or not being a Jamaican, that's not the point. I do want to address something, but let's hear from this caller. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Sandra, good morning. How are you doing?
Yes, my dear. How are you?
Okay.
Good.
Remember just now I spoke to you about my post on Facebook with Colin?
Yes, I was just having a look at it again. Don't worry, I'm going to get to that.
Okay, he'd been in an accident over a month ago, and he's been homeless now for years.
Oh my gosh.
So I know that your show always helps people, so I'm hoping maybe he can in this one.
He's in the BRAC?
Yeah, he's been in the hospital a month now. Okay. He's about to be released, but nowhere to go.
All right. I'll put the call up for it. Okay, honey. Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, cool then.
All right, folks. So we do have an urgent housing situation in the BRAC. If you know of anyone who can assist this gentleman, we'll post it on our social media pages here shortly as well. He needs housing. He's 60 years old. He's just getting out of the hospital. He is a seaman, and he's on the road to recovery, but he does need a safe place to stay. So if you have any accommodations in the BRAC that you can help Colin out with, please make contact, and we'll put you in contact with that caller or maybe some others who can then get him sorted out. Appreciate it. All right, folks, 936, again, 2626, 936 Bobo. Let's read some of the comments. So we have comments from quite a number of you. Andrea says this morning, marriages of convenience is never going to stop anywhere in the world. I, for one, not marrying anyone I don't love to stay in any country. And I agree that it happens elsewhere. I mean, I suppose Cayman isn't unique. I think what's unique from Cayman is the fact that given our population size, most of us know or we've heard of multiple stories of marriages of convenience. So Andrea also says it's not just Jamaicans. And she goes on to say, funny how some people assume it's only Jamaicans marrying for papers. Well, Andrea, it might not be just Jamaicans, but because we have a large Jamaican population here, given our proximity to Jamaica, what you will find, and again, this show is called The Cold Hard Truth for a reason. I'm just going to slice it how it is. Let me be very clear. If the tables were turned and Jamaica was the country with more jobs, more economic prosperity, less violence overall, etc., then you'd probably have the Caymanians who were trying to marry Jamaicans for a marriage of convenience and move there. But that's not what it is. So all of these things contribute to why people are trying to oftentimes leave Jamaica, right, to go elsewhere. The thing that makes Cayman interesting is geographically, because we're just a 45-minute plane flight from Jamaica, is a lot of Jamaicans can be like, oh, I can go home every weekend if I want. So they get the best of both worlds. They live in Cayman, still relatively safe, right? They can have a lifestyle here that in Jamaica, sometimes that lifestyle not only makes enemies and whatever, it actually get you killed. And we've seen that on more than one occasions. A lot of Jamaicans have gone overseas, worked really, really hard. They want to build a nice home in Jamaica, retire and go back, and look at what happens. They end up losing their lives. So all of these things are part of the realities that people have to deal with. So Cayman has its benefits to a lot of Jamaicans. And then they're, like I said, because of the close proximity, they can also just jump in a plane and go back home. If they feel for a particular vibe and they want to, spend the weekend in Ochi or this place or that place, they're like, hey, it's only 45 minutes away. It's not halfway around the world. Any of you watch all of these shows, 90 Day Fiancé, the entire platform of that show is about these marriages of convenience. You have these little old white people living in America, American women normally, it's normally the women, but sometimes the men too. Got some Russian bride trying to come over. She don't know nothing about you after talking to you on the internet. Some of them oversell themselves. They claim they got money. They claim they got, when they show up, the Russian bride is like, you want me, some pretty eye candy on your arm, and you living with your mama and your daddy, and you don't have a pot to piss in? Those are marriages of convenience. Those people are looking for something. They're H1, what they call H1 or B1, whatever it is, application to get their visas through marriage. The Nigerians, they're working that gravy train really, really hard. So nobody's saying it's only Jamaicans, but the vast majority, and this is a fact, of marriages of convenience in this country are Jamaicans. If I had to pick the top 3 countries that we have an issue of marriages of convenience with, it would be Jamaica first by a very wide margin. Then it would be Honduras. They come in a close second. And a lot of Caymanians don't want to talk about the Honduran marriages of convenience, but honey child, what do you think you have to offer that woman? She's like, oh, papi, I love you. Oh, papi, can I have some dinero, por favor? And you're like, okay, mamacita, here's another $500 for you to go get your heels done, nails done, bunka done, this, that. She sees you as a bank account. When she looks at you, she's seeing dollar signs. She's seeing the ability to be able to, again, stay in Cayman. Next thing you know, she bring in the bag of children that you'd claim you didn't know nothing about. Oh, I didn't know she had 4 children. Now she only told me about 1. I said, poor you, I'm a fool. You go Honduras, you don't even know who the girl is and who she connected to. You don't speak the language. You don't understand the culture. You don't know nothing that's going on. Next thing you know, you find out that her brother's a whole bunch of gangsters in Tegucigalpa. And you're like, oh my God, I just married into the mafia in Honduras. Yes, honey child. That's real life. That's how it goes down. And all you were looking at is she got a little bit straight hair. And she got one bonk in her that she had to pay for. And she wants a breast implants from you. Oh, Lord. Now, y'all know I'm talking the truth this morning. Don't get me started because y'all know the truth. And lots of that going on, too. Some of y'all can't even marry someone who's age appropriate. You got to go marry somebody younger than your own children. What do you think somebody younger than your children from Honduras can do with you? She's looking to have one anchor baby. And then when she finishes, you should take your house, your pension, and everything else. Good morning, caller.
What's wrong with you this morning?
Woo! Liana says paid plastic doll. Aliana says muy caliente. Yes, papi chulo.
What's wrong with you this morning?
I'm just speaking the truth, honey chill.
The cold heart.
Yes, some days it's a little bit harder and a little bit colder, but it's still the truth.
Okay, I just want to shout out the person from the wheelchair company. Oh goodness. Girl, I love you.
All right.
And it won't get done like that. Okay, bye.
All right, my dear. Bye-bye. Yes, honey child. They be like, papi chulo, te amo, por favor. Yo necesito muy dinero. And you're like, okay, I don't understand any of that, but here's my credit card. Go shopping. Child, I see some of y'all walk around shopping. You know what I be thinking when I see y'all up in places. I'll be up in Atlantic department store, and here you come with this little Spanish girl in your arm. And I'm looking at two of you like, I'm like, ay, Dios. How do you say take the bus in Spanish? I'm like, Dios, please take the bus. What the hell am I looking at here? You really think that she's interested in you for your personality and not so good looks? No, she looking to use you. And you know what is so ridiculous? Some of y'all came out and men not got no sense, I mean, young men. Your girlfriends out there, these Spanish girls cheating on you and y'all know it. She got all kind of man. Side man. Oh, you can't buy me my babes. Oh, yeah, you think, yeah, papi, I need some money for these tatis. You can't buy these for me? She'll go on and find somebody else on the side. And y'all still staying with these girls because, you want to be able to take her out to dinner. And somebody see you got to pray. Nobody not impressed with you because you got some woman on your arm that you having to pay for. Let me try and stand up. I was sitting down this morning, honey, chill, but I got to stand up for the rest of this part now. Listen to me. Y'all need a reality check. They don't care about you. That is also a marriage of convenience. And some of y'all, they do y'all so bad. You know what one guy told me once? Now, y'all tell me how this go. Because I have to wonder about Caymanian men. Liasa said, no, sir. This is the truth. So one guy was telling me about his relationship problems. I'm not going to say who it is because, child, the stupidity with this goes from the highest ranking people in the country all the way straight down. Politicians, businessmen, all y'all not got no sense when it comes to these marriages of convenience. When you have to start buying your wife body parts, something might be wrong. Make her pay for her own cosmetic surgery. Anyway, this one Caymanian fella, he was checking one girl, right? And she's Spanish, Honduran, I believe. And anyway, they come a little bit different now, So she can tell him that her ideal man is somebody else that she briefly dated. She actually named the person. Like let's say my name now is Marco Thompson, okay? And I'm dating this girl. She can tell me that Edward Ebanks, who she dated before, that's her ideal man. That's what she's looking for. Because he come from a little money, you see. And he got a little better browning than this one. This one might be a little bit too dark for her. Spanish people, sometimes they can be prejudiced too. And she like, that would be her ideal man. And I said, hold on a second. Let me just think about how stupid can be. You gonna have a woman who can tell you that somebody else in Cayman is her ideal man and you gonna still deal with her? Child, please. I wouldn't be that desperate for sex, for nothing in this world. You would have to step out of my house. Get out right now. Don't call me again. I would block that person. Don't call my number, lose my number. That is the height of insanity. That's an insult beyond an insult. She just basically told you that she don't even find you physically attractive. You know her ideal man for other reasons. Let me tell you what a gold digger she is. She going around when you take her to little events, little society people, you know how they be all up into that. She looking at the people in them watches. Oh, you're wearing a Rolex watch. Where did you get that from? None of your damn business. That's where I got it from. I got it from the none of your damn business store. Have you heard of them? Right next to Kirk Freeport. Honey, that's a gold digger. You don't need no other definition. You don't need nobody to tell you nothing else. That is someone who is here for what she can get from you, and she not bringing jack shit to the table. Oh, but you see, she got straight hair, and she pretty, and she can put in a bonke and breasts. That's why even the Jamaicans not trying to step up their game, honey child. You see Spice? They're all trying to go out there and pay for the BBL, whatever, because the competition getting stiff. The Spanish girls, if they're not born with the bonking now, they go in and put it in. So, you know, Jamaican, other Caribbean women like, yeah, we can compete too. We going DR too for surgery. Lord Jesus, the competition is stiff. Even if the man isn't, the competition is stiff. Because y'all be picking up these Viagra necessary men. Oh, thank you, Elena. She says, ay, Dios mío, toma el control. So she said, that means, oh God, take the control. Take the automobus. Liana's keeping us up to date with World Cup. Germany won, Japan 2. Go there, Japan. Jonathan says this can go both ways. Imagine how the guy feels when he spends all his money bringing down the girl and he expects the perfect woman. And when she gets off the plane, the girl ends up looking like a hipperola. That's why you can't get into relationships for looks. That shouldn't be at the top of your list. Trust me, it's not gonna work. Because looks fade. You know, you better go look at her mama. You talking about how good she look. Go look at the mummy who's now 50 years old and she got all the rolls and fat and this and that. And she can't wear the fake bonker no more. The bubba's one up and one down. That what you looking at in your future, son. So know what you're getting. Shannon says these young Spanish girls be hanging on to the old Cayman men that look like they ready to keel over. Well, you know, I must say the Spaniards kind of got a formula that seems to work. They go old and they go hard. So they can kill you with the Viagra and the sex as quickly as possible. Now, Leanna says it's modern day prostitution. Dean says, I love my Sandy. She's real. Speak the truth and speak it ever. What a morning. Here you know. I did say that there were top three nationalities for this. So I cannot leave out my Filipino friends. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Because y'all would not be left out in this either. Yes, honey child. The Filipinos are coming in with a close second. Close third. My apologies. They're not really close, to be honest. But they have been stepping up their game. Now, the thing I find interesting about the Filipinos, they do things a little bit differently. So they do tend to like an older man. Like I said, one that's soon dropped down dead. And on top of that, I don't know if this person's trying to call the show, but I'm still on air. On top of them, you know, preferring an older gentleman, then that way they don't have to work as hard, you see, because you can soon drop down dead anyway. But in addition to that, they also seem to have, sometimes they lower their standards. Oh, I don't know. Like I see them, some of them checking people from Dog City, and I'm like, oh, honey child, you couldn't find nobody else? Are the pickings that slim? They're willing to compromise a lot. I wouldn't say more than others, but I've seen them compromise in a way that I'm like, oh God, ugh, That is a level of desperation, honey child. You're not gonna go to Dog City to find a desperate Caymanian wife that like a woman with straight hair. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandra. How are you? This is Boss Man here. Boss Man.
How are you?
Yeah. I like you. I like your program this morning. It is quite fitting, because I believe that I came out of the marriage to convenience thing. I think I was
you got first-hand experience.
Yeah, I was really tricked. I was sort of tricked, Because my ex-wife, what she did, she married the white people that she works for. She was not married to me. She was not interested in me. You see? So I can relate to this program. I can relate to it. What you're saying is so true, And yeah, the marriage come. But what they need to do.
Tell me, how did she trick you? I'm interested to know. Because you're a smart man.
I thought, no. But it's a trick. But I should not have used that word.
Oh, okay.
A lot of my friends, I used to take around to my people, my Barbadian people, and people looks are deceiving, And they would see her and she got this smile that what the people say, lights up a room. She would light up the room. So they suggested to me. They said that I should marry her because I'm getting old. According to them, I'm getting old, and I need somebody to take care of me.
Oh gosh!
But to be honest with you, I always had the intention of marrying her, even before I was told that. So I went ahead and did that. Let me tell you something. So if I did not get rid of that woman, I would have gone straight to my grave. But you know what was the final nail in the coffin? The two of us were in Florida. My son, the only son that I got to know. He said, Daddy, I want you to bring something from my computer for me. And she said, don't bet, he's not gonna pay you back.
But that your son.
I thought they didn't hear. I heard, but I thought I said, what did you say? What did you really say? And that was the final nail in the coffin. So I'm a recipient.
Didn't want you to spend money on your own child.
Can you imagine? And I'm a madman. I went crazy. I almost got arrested. I almost got arrested in Miami, I got on so bad, Sandra, I'm a Taliban. I got on, but that was the final nail in the coffin. But she almost. But one question I want to ask you before I go: why are the Caymanian women marrying the Cayman men and vice versa?
Oh God! Now that is a whole other show. And it can it can be very complex. I'm going to give you the 5-minute version. I'll answer it after this call. But yes, there's a little bit of a mix up with it. But yes.
Well, I know about the smallness of the country, and it could be related and this and that.
That's some of it. That's some of it. But to be quite frank and honest, Caymanians sometimes are prejudiced towards their own people. And sometimes it is also a race issue. You heard me just talk about you Caymanians liking straight hair, and they don't care where the person come from. Trust me when I tell you, they would compromise for a little straight hair, and only somebody Caymanians got straight hair. You know what I'm saying? They got compromise for that straight hair, no matter where it coming from. Honduras, DR, the Philippines, some back road. They're not business as long as the hair is straight.
No, it is true. I know that. Because my son, I know what. Anyway, I'm not going there. But that is his preference. But I am not going there. So I just wanted to call you, because I was a recipient of this convenience, you see? Wow.
I'm glad you wised up before, like you said.
No, they can't trick me, Sandra. So they went to a reasonably good school in Barbados, a reasonably good school. And then the area that I came from, I knew the good, bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. I know everything, man. So they couldn't trick me. So I am doing very, very well now. I get up in the mornings and I walk or go to the gym. I play my drums, so I am doing very, very well.
Good.
Praise God.
Yes.
And listen to something. You are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you so much.
Don't you ever stop. If you stop, I'm going back to Barbados. Simple as that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay, my friend.
All right, my dear. Thanks.
Good.
Wow. Some real testimonials this morning. Boy, we need a hallelujah up in here. Where's my hallelujah button?
Praise the Lord.
Yes, some real firsthand testimonials this morning. And you know what? He used the word trick, but sometimes people show you a certain face up to a certain point. But my thing is they can't keep up the charade forever. At some point, they always reveal themselves. During the courting phase, they pretend to be so prim and proper, and they can put on makeup and dress up. And then as soon as you marry them, like somebody said yesterday, she's not even ironing her clothes anymore. She not putting on makeup. This one Honduran woman, she not putting on makeup no more. She not shaving the legs no more. She not doing nothing. Lord Jesus. Shannon says that we don't marry Cayman men because the good ones are either already dead or already married. That's why. Well, I must say that there's a little bit of shortage of Cayman men that you'd really be interested in. If you want to pick up any old thing, I guess they might exist. But, if you have standards, that lessens the field quite a bit. And then there is the concern that all of us probably related. This was my thing. I remember when I was like very, very young, I told my dad, I said, Daddy, I don't think I can marry Cayman because everywhere you go, we go, you tell me, oh, that person, your cousin, that one, your uncle, that one related. And I'm like, so I'm related to everybody in Cayman. How will I ever find a spouse here? Morning, caller.
Yeah, Sandy, back again. Talking about the tricking thing. When I was going to school, I remember, looking for a nice Caymanian girl because there's not really much to really look for when we're in school. But we all like the different nationalities as well. Like when you go to a bar now at your young prime ages, and you're just chilling out, and you go to a bar and then you see a Spanish girl, and they'll come and want to talk about like what you're saying, hey papi,
And
realize that you
sometimes the accent gets to you, right? That you ever find that the accent, you'd be like, oh, the accent kind of sounded goodish,
I love all different types of accents, and I carry a lot of different accents in my dialect as well. And I like to be versatile when it comes into not being prejudiced. I'm not prejudiced. And that's a good sign. That's a good thing. You don't see too much of that communication in the Cayman Islands, especially when you don't have the prejudiceness. You don't have that in the Cayman Islands. There are a lot of people saying they're looking for a Caymanian. Now, what do you specify as a Caymanian? It could be a black Caymanian, it could be a white Cayman, but them Spanish ones too, And you got the Caymanians, the old classic, come out with the nice striped dress, them. Different cultures that mixing up, and this is what triggers people. And I'm not saying that I don't like the Spaniards and I don't like the Jamaicans. I love both of them. But the thing about it, which one you connect to better, which one fit your mentality better. I don't like all both in the same sense because both of them pawns. A lot of them are trained to do these things in school. And I gotta tell you, like in Honduras, the Banana Republic is a thing.
Yeah. And let me tell you something too. I found with certain this is what I find in Spanish countries, right? Especially the women, they seem to come of age a lot sooner. So if you're a man who's looking for this is just I'm not trying to insult my Spanish friends this morning because we got some family over there. So but if you understand that at 13 years old and you have your what do they call it, the quinceañera and whatever these celebrations are at 15 years old, you're considered a woman. And you start having relations from a very young age. Child, by the time you 18, 19-year-old, you're a pro in bed. So when these men looking to have hello. And yes, and when you're looking to have your toe curled in a different kind of way, you understand?
Because the legal age to get married here is 16, correct?
I don't even know. Actually, might be.
Yeah,
Be.
it's okay.
I think it could be.
This is where it comes in with the convenience thing. It's easy to trick adolescents as well.
Definitely younger and experienced. But my point is, what you find is a lot of these girls come here and they are mature beyond their actual physical years. So they can do things to you that a Caymanian woman not gonna be doing to you. And some Caymanian woman like, no, we're not going down that road, TD. We're not gonna do that.
And then not to insult the old people, but then when the elders take action to those, I mean, I not blame them because when I get in my 60s and I don't have no choice, I'm not saying that I'm not gonna go and drop into that category, but I gonna make sure that woman then know what I dip on.
Yeah. You might have to pop a little Viagra here and there.
You know that. So, and I'm saying that I praying for that day to come in.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen. We might all need that little blue pill at some time.
Things to understand how it works, because along with the game, you can play along with the game with them. Maybe they just like to play the game and don't want to make it permanent. I just saying they have people that do it, they enjoy it, and they live great with it. I don't have nobody to believe in marriage and convenience other than the dirtiness that they do.
Yeah,
that's all, and more into it.
And we did have someone who sent a message out to you earlier. I'm just trying to find it again. She was obviously thinking of you. This was Holly. She said, I'm touched by this young man's story about his mom. Thanks for sharing your story and thoughts, sir. So lots of people, your story resonated, I think, with a lot of people this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear. Thanks very much.
It's the exposure that heals,
For sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we got a little bit of overtime to play with this morning. We're going until 10:30. Thank you so much for the folks over at DMS who make it possible for us to go a little bit into overtime. So we have some WhatsApp comments. Let's not leave those people out. This person says, you also have the side chicks that steps to the wife, but disrespect the wife and husband and saying that the husband can't provide for the side chick. Wow. These Jamaican men are something else. Jamaican men that left their country woman, it's just to benefit them. So I think that means that they still got the Jamaican woman on the side, even if they married to Cayman for what a mess. This person says, I think that Filipinos are beating the Spaniards now. Lord Jesus. I don't think it's that bad yet. What I find interesting, though, you find a lot of Filipino men don't do it. It's mostly the women, which I do find to be particularly interesting. Another viewer to the program says, true words from Boss Man. Great show, Sandy. And if you stop the show, I, too, am going back to Jamaica. That's after being Cayman for probably 25 plus years, You're not going nowhere, honey chill. What a mess. Any comments I missed? The government, someone said that this, okay, and his mother was very sweet, this young man. He worked at customs and what it was called back in the day. Oh, I know her and she was a very good friend of mine. The government should be taking his RERC, this means the Jamaican husband now, back, but she couldn't give a written consent and that marriage should be revoked straight up. I think the problem is doing it after the fact. Oh, Lord, here, Yes, ma'am. Some things I can't read on air. Morning.
Well, it's me again, Margaret. Oh, tell that young man, I say, it's a Charlie, tell that young man, I say, and then the kind of woman he could find home in Cayman. If you want black people, you come in one of my favorites, be black and intelligent and just awesome. Down that corner, tall, slim, beautiful black women. If you want a little in between, you go to a certain district, look at the north side, the prettiest girls in the world come at the north side. So you're Savannah, real white. You go Savannah. In some areas in Western. Anything, any kind of woman you could possibly want is represented. He has got everything here.
But we still in the minority, to find a real Caymanian is still a little bit of a challenge these days.
Yeah, but we go in as good as we can get.
Yeah.
Look here, you can't get no more Cayman than take the little breed, and I manage that. So if you're looking, we can find them. If you're looking, we can find them. Young man, you know, can go all over the world looking for a woman. Women are here in Cayman, and to a great extent, they can still cook their little food and wash their clothes, and you know. And when they're going wrong,
I don't know. Some of them young people not ready for that kind of life, though.
Yeah, I know, but
you know they can't cook or clean or do nothing else.
They won't, but they can start it. But you know, if
Charlene, I gotta tell you this joke from Curtis and Cayman Brack. Curtis just commented this. He said 2 old men broke into a pharmacy and stole some Viagra. So now the police are looking for 2 hardened criminals. No, sir. Oh my gosh.
When you got that cultural heritage thing down, when anybody's stepping out of line, you can kind of know. You know what I think gets the local population, the men in particular, by what the English people talk about the short hairs, is that when that relationship is going wrong, you don't understand the culture, you don't understand anything, you don't even know. You full in the face.
I gotta tell you what one Caymanian guy said to me years ago. He had married one Spanish lady. I believe she was from Honduras. So he said, you know, and their child now was like, I think she's about 16, 17. And he said, you know, they obviously had been together a while, whatever. He said, you know, had I really thought about this situation, like the cultural differences and how my daughter has been raised, he said, I would have really, the first wife was Caymanian. They got divorced, whatever. They had one child, I think. Married a Spanish woman, had a daughter with her. He said, had I really thought about it, I would have tried and find another Caymanian because the cultural differences are so different. And now the way that his daughter has been raised is so different to how he was raised up and how he really wanted her to be raised. But of course, the mother normally is the hen. So she's ruling the house. You know, she got the hen house thing going. So very, very interesting. But thanks for those comments. We got more comments coming in.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, honey. Magdalene says most Caymanian men do not want Caymanian women because of our strong personalities and being independent. I'll say something for this, Magdalene. I think there is a point to that I agree with, because some other cultures are just naturally subservient. Asian cultures tend to be very subservient people. They got yes, ma'am, and no, sir, you to death, because that's just how they're raised up to, you know, to be. And so a lot of these men are looking for that. That way, you heard what I just said about in the bedroom? They want someone who can do anything. No questions asked. Who's going to lick their toes and all kind of foolishness. They're into it all. A Caymanian woman can be like, lick your what? You must be joking. She probably hit you upside the head with one little rolling pin. So you are more likely to find stronger personalities probably out of the Caribbean women. They're not going to be into everything. You know, they're going to be like, oh no, we're not raised up like that, honey, chill. And I guess some of these men, they up in church, but they want the excitement. Like I tell you, they want their toes to be curled under and over and to the side. So, you know, that is a bit of it as well, is that they don't want a woman who's going to tell them no. And some of these men love to be like a real king in their households. They want you to bring them slippers in the morning and massaging their feet and bowing down to them and all that kind of stuff. And you're probably not going to find too many Caymanian women anymore that do that. That generation has passed. That would be like the McKeever Bush generation. You know, those people in that age group in their 70s, that are Caymanians who used to do that kind of foolishness. Not so much anymore. Ben says, men are also marrying older ladies for money, and money never brings happiness. Well, money doesn't bring happiness because a foundation, a relationship cannot be built on anything like that. It has to be built on commonality, common ground, common interests. You know, Aliano says, well, I had my love for the oxtail, but they too damn boopsie. I found a nice Caymanian with light skin and a good sized bonky, so I good, yo. What? What do you mean? Let me try and dissect what you said, Aliano. So you had a Jamaican girl, but she was too boopsie. So you had to find a Caymanian girl with light skin and a good sized bonky. He said, what a mess. Raymond says another World Cup upset. Japan defeated Germany 2-1. What is going on this World Cup? It looked like Qatar really putting some kind of Muslim voodoo on y'all. All the teams that we thought would be taking it, Jess are not winning, so it could come down to who, like Japan and some other country that we've never probably even heard of in a World Cup competition. What mess. So is that it? Like they only play the one match and that's it? Germany can't come back and beat somebody else and qualify for the finals? Oh my gosh. So Argentina's out, Germany's out. Who else? USA won theirs, right? Wow. Dean says you gotta pay attention when ladies are too friendly and attentive at first. Typical Miss Prim and Proper. Miss Sue says some Caymanian men are big players too. I'm telling you, this isn't about nationality, really. I mean, there's some things that were said this morning that are kind of like, okay, this is happening a lot here because that's the caliber that we're attracting to this country. But you'll find players, listen, no one can be a bigger player than a Jamaican. No one can be a bigger player than a Spaniard, and no one can be a bigger player than a Caymanian. That's just men and women for you. When they're ready to play, you got trouble on your hands. So I noticed that somebody has tried to steal CMR's name this morning. Talking about they live in Georgetown and from Bodden Town. You can't be using Cayman Mall Road as your name. Medical office administrator at the Cayman Islands government. You need to change and pick another name, honey child. We don't want people thinking that you are us. Pick another name or we have to report you for that name. This person says the Ebanks family been in West Bay since 1793, moved on to Tennessee in 1850, and their property in Cuba is long documented. And what does that have to do with the price of rice in China? I'm not sure that that's exactly on topic this morning. But anyway, Jonathan says, let me be 80 and I find me a younger girl trying to take me out with Viagra. What if that's my plan to go out like that? Well, it's always a choice. But the thing that I want to say with the marriages of convenience, you're thinking, generally speaking, oh, I can take the $1,000 for the marriage of convenience and it's fine. But it impacts everybody else in this country. It impacts that person's children. I saw Lavana made a comment saying that that young man's story reminded her of her sister, who she found was in a similar predicament, which is really, really sad. Let me see if I can find that comment. So Lavana says the caller brings back so many memories of my own sister, that past situation. So she too had mental problems, all of what he mentioned, and was taken advantage of. That's really unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. And then the families are the ones, the Caymanian families, by the way, who are impacted by these marriages of convenience. A lot of these guys come here. So remember the one that works prison and he got a baby now with the other Jamaican lady? That was a side piece. People say he always got side pieces and he's out there having all these children, creating these broken homes and really unwanted children. Because he don't want that child. He's only now being forced to pay child support. And then you have the Caymanian fool wife who is going to stick with him and continue to allow him to have his status in this country. Now she's now going to have all these outside children getting status off of her because she gave it to a no good husband who's out there disrespecting her in the streets. Let me be very, very clear. You're not going to come to my country and disrespect me with that kind of foolishness. You're going to have to go. You can't stop a man from doing it, but once you find out that he's doing it, you better put your foot down and divorce his behind and get rid of him. To stay married to someone like that is why people then go, oh yeah, this is a marriage of convenience. What else could it possibly be? So here's the scoop this morning. Let me see here now. This person had the following to say. Let me try and find this message. This person says, we have a prison officer. They got name names now. Gotta get ready for name. Morning, caller.
Hello.
Hello there.
Good morning, Sandra.
Hey, is that the minister?
That is the minister. Hey. I thought you didn't love me anymore. What's going on, man?
Why on earth would you think that?
I don't know. You don't call me no more. We used to go out for coffee. We had lunch together. Now you don't even call me no more.
Minister, I don't think you and I have ever had coffee because I don't drink coffee. However, you know, I used to go to the coffee shop, but nobody at the coffee shop sees me anymore because I'm here on air doing my job. I ain't got time to be lollygagging.
All right, fair enough.
We miss you. Are you in Cayman? Are you here? Or are you overseas?
I am here.
Okay.
I'm happy to be home.
All right, because I know you've been traveling a little bit lately.
Yeah, trying to get those numbers back up, and thankfully things are looking good. Believe it or not, for the month of October, we got 92% of the 2019 numbers for the month of October. And November is looking to be just as good, and December may be even better.
So it looks like you need to come on the show. You need to come on the show then.
Yeah, I'll definitely be happy to come on the show.
All right. Did you have any comments on the marriages of convenience this morning?
Oh my God! Every marriage is a convenience.
No. But there is a difference. We got 10 minutes left in the show, and I want to stay on topic. There is a difference about the type of marriages that we're talking about. What do you say to Caymanians who are both men and women? But it seems to be a lot of women who are doing it now, who are allowing men to come here and marry them and giving them money per month, and they're not really in a bona fide relationship with them. The men are out there to do whatever.
It's not a secret. This has been happening for decades, man.
Yeah, and we
decades. It's just we do have to stop it. The biggest problem I found over the years is that it's a very difficult case to prove.
Yeah.
Right? How can you tell when somebody is in love or not? Because relationships is not as traditional as they once were. You can have a legitimately married couple who are living in two different houses. I mean, the problem is
that's if you're Kourtney Kardashian.
Well, there's some people who live like that.
Me and Marlon here, I'm not gonna be living in two different homes because we can't really afford that. I mean, unless something else going on in the relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying that it is a difficult thing to deal with, and here's the thing: when you look at a Cayman can say, "Listen, this is the woman or the man I love," and you can't tell me I can't have a relationship with them. I mean, I like how my relationship is.
$11,000 a month that they get.
Yeah, but you have to prove that. Just like any other case of crime or criminality, you have to prove that there is a legitimate intent of misleading or using the system in the inappropriate way. And that's why the immigration department has had so much trouble with this over the years.
Yes.
You have to prove your case, because otherwise you can get appealed. And if a Cayman is strong enough, they can say, no, I'm appealing this. You're taking away my rights from me from having a right to family life. So that's the difficulty. And if we took a stronger approach by way of allowing the immigration department and CBC to take stronger action, then you're going to have more people saying, sorry.
Kenneth, can I just, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I've just seen something that's quite disturbing. Let me address this. I'm going to message you after the show, and we will book a time.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah?
No problem.
Okay, honey,
lovely talking to you. Talk to you later.
All right, honey. So, y'all, I was just saying here in the program that this person who has set up this Facebook account talking about Cayman Mall Road, they need to get their ish together because we don't appreciate fake accounts. Well, it didn't take long to figure out who this idiot is because he's just not the brightest knife in the drawer, none at all. Oh my God. Can we do a giveaway today? Guess who this fool is? He took our name, set up this Cayman Mall Road personal account. Then he's put here, I don't know how y'all so stupid actually befriending this person. He already has 13 mutual friends, 2 mutual whatever. What do you say? The marriage of Grace Gili and Carlos Lobo, filing a fault divorce using abandonment as a grounds of testimony of evidence. Okay, so folks, guess who this idiot is? Why are you people friending these accounts? This is not a Cayman Mall Road account. Eckerd, unfriend him. Twin Mentality, unfriend him. Eric, unfriend him. This is none other than who? Carlos Lobo. The man has mental health issues. He not the sharpest knife anywhere in the friggin' universe. As many of his accounts as we have had to block on this program. Carlos, I'm going to tell you like I told you last time before I block you again, get professional help. You need it. There's something wrong with you. And leave poor Grace Geely alone. That girl has been tormented by you for years. How much tormenting somebody can take? You lucky, you lucky that her daddy not friggin' Cayman that would come and box you the hell down. You are a nuisance to that girl and her family. My God, what is wrong with you? Take your medication. Sure. That is him again. You can imagine. You got too much time in your hands. Go find a job. Occupy your mind. You know what they say about idle hands? That's part of what do you. Idleness. Go back to America. Leave Cayman. You one Cayman in that we would gladly get rid of. My God. I can't, but he's a stalker, not stalker behavior. He is a first-rate stalker. Listen to me. If I were her, he lucky. They say Duppy knew who to stalk and who to frighten. She would have boxed you a long time ago. What a mess. This girl has reported this man to the police. She has done the most. And this man uses social media to harass and to stalk her and her family. Talking about, oh, she had a child for him. Yeah, right. She would have to have been the stupidest person in the world to even talk to you. He's so, God. Don't get me started here, Carlos. Get some help. Get some professional help. You need it. We should have a segment called Cussing Carlos. This man, listen. Anyway, I see somebody calling, but obviously I'm still on air. I don't know if she's calling to come on the show. But listen to me. This marriages of convenience is a serious thing. So somebody messaged me about a particular prison officer, no less. Married to Jamaican. They gave me both names last year. He went to live in town and she lives in Bodden town. They got married on the 9th of March, 2021. It's a marriage of convenience and he pays her $1,000 a month. That is the definition, folks, of a marriage of convenience. The two don't live together. They don't have a bona fide relationship. And she's getting payment in order for him to be able to remain in this country. Well, we already reported that situation to Works. The funny thing is, this is the second person who has reported this exact same couple. Now, I'm sure they probably listened to the show, honey child. So, sir, you know who you are. You're an AC technician. And the wife, you know who you are. You're a prison officer. Date of the marriage is March the 9th, 2021. And everybody's saying that this is a fake marriage. Now, let me quickly address one element of this fake marriage situation. Is it appears, oh, Carlos, hear him now. Actually, this isn't Carlos. Let me just block you. I gotta do you a favor this morning. Because what you really need is a Georgetown cussing. That's what you need. But instead of me wasting my time on you this morning, we are going to simply block you. Nobody, Carlos, it would be nobody else in their right mind who would be doing what you're doing. Do you not see how crazy what you do is? How you create these constant fake accounts? You got a problem, son. Get yourself some help. But like I said, we're going to do you a favor now and just block you. Okay, there you go. Options, blocked, goodbye. Go harass somebody else. Anyway, some of you want to blame the marriage officers, and this is something that has come to my attention before. How can you blame a marriage officer? They have a checklist. And their checklist is not to tell you that you're entering into a marriage of convenience, that this woman's going to take advantage of you, that you're going to be divorced in a year or 5 years or 10 years, or she going to bring one bag load of children and the rest of the family from halfway around the world. That is not the marriage officer's job. Good morning, caller. 5 years or 10 years, or she going to bring one bag
Hello.
Hi, caller.
Morning. I just want to make a comment on regards to what the minister stated. In regards to me personally, as a Caymanian, I am married to an expat, and for me to claim citizenship of the country that he came from, I had to go live in his country for 2 years with his family in the same household. Okay, my interview was at immigration, right? I did my interview at immigration in his country. After that, 5 days later, I had to show myself up to what they call a portal, meaning, say, a police station. Okay? I had to show myself at that police station at the time they gave me and do an interview with them and an officer. An officer came out to that house every month for 1 full year. They made sure that I was married in legit marriage. They asked every neighbor and every person in that development that I lived in if they knew who I was, if I was a friendly person, if they've ever seen me, my husband. They went through a process before they gave me my citizenship. Okay? When I completed my 2 years, I got my citizenship. I came back home. I came back home in an emergency, in a rush, because my husband, I filed his papers here, and the Cayman government knew that I was off island. So they had his on hold. Okay? So I understand what the minister is saying, that you can't prove certain things, but there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of steps that they can put in place and procedures they can put in place to make sure.
Absolutely.
You understand? So I do not agree 100% with what he said. Marriage of convenience is something, yes, that is happening here often. We see it all the time, but we got to realize that young Caymanian women are not, I don't think they have the values and the self-esteem that the older generation showed us, right? So it takes a lot. It comes from the family, it comes from the home. So what they're looking for, the women are looking for, it's comfort, right? Some women look for comfort. Some women are looking for someone just to take care of them. And when they get in a relationship with an expat tends to show them, okay, baby, we've been boyfriend, girlfriends for 9 months, 8 months. What I'm giving you is what I can give you in a marriage. And when you're married, it's a completely different something. So it takes a lot. Me as a Caymanian woman personally would have never married my own kind, because I knew I wanted too much, right? I was hungry. And a lot of the Caymanian men, the good ones, are all taken or dead.
That was somebody else said
the
earlier.
younger boys that are here, they don't want that. They want to drive your fancy car, drop you to your work, pick up, drop you lunch, take $25 from you, and you understand. So it's complicated, but I don't agree with what the minister said. There's more can be done.
Yes, and somebody else to the minister's point, somebody else did say that he doesn't want to piss off any of his constituents. So maybe that's why he's taking a soft approach.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I can tell you, as a Caymanian, I'm only 38 years old. I own 3 companies, and I did not do it on my own. I did it with my husband. Why? Because he had the ambition, he had the hunger. But I did not go to marry a Spaniard, because sorry to say it, I am not racist, but that's not my type. And I didn't marry a Jamaican because I knew what it followed. I went up in the friggin' Middle East and married somebody out there.
Interesting.
Okay? Yeah, my husband is Turkish.
Yes.
My husband is Turkish. I've been married to him 10 years. 10 years, Sandra. And believe me, God, our marriage has our ups and downs.
Yes.
We bring our work home. We argue over work, but we're certified. We are one. And before you jump out of the pot into the fire, you need to think. A lot of girls don't think that way anymore.
True.
Anyways,
Thank you very
I'll
much.
leave
I
it there.
appreciate it.
You're
All
welcome.
right, my dear.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
You too, bye.
So Alejandro says marriage counseling mandatory for 1 year at least. Yo, I agree. It's not a bad idea to really know, what it is that you're looking for. Jonathan said, if someone ever sees me get married again, the woman should be rich as hell, or my family's being held hostage, or mess, or Jonathan. Caller.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
You and Jonathan again. Jonathan is your nemesis.
I'm saying I don't know why Denny never called in today on this topic. He must be a little bit shy about this one.
Who that?
Denny.
Leave my boy alone. He would have made a good legislator. He knows when he sit down, shut the goddamn and make a storm pass too.
Oh Lord.
No.
Final call for the day. Tell me what's on your mind.
No, oh Jesus, I thought you were you're off on
No,
radio,
I'm
but
still
not
on, still on.
online.
Off the radio, but still online.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't want. I wanted just
Oh,
to
you having a private conversation. All right, call back.
Okay, bye.
Honey child, it's a good thing I let her know. She might have been telling me some state secrets. Lavana says that's what Cayman immigration need to do. Home checks, etc. when people get married. I do think that there is more that can be done. Yeah. Even in the United States of America, as many people as they have, you do go through an interview process and they ask you very personal questions. Believe me, I've been there. I know. They're going to ask you very personal questions. They separate you and they're going to ask your husband certain things. And if he don't know certain things, they're going to be like, this is your wife. Why don't you know this about her? And vice versa. Doesn't mean that they catch them all. They sure still have a lot of them where it's happening. But ultimately, really where it starts, like I said, immigration work, as they're now called, has an enforcement arm. It starts with you, the people in this country. You have to be prepared to say no to $1,000 a month. Irvin said $1,000 per month. That's cheap. They don't even know the value of what they are selling. You are selling your birthright. You're giving people the opportunity to come here. And I hate to tell you, but anyone who would pay you $1,000 a month to be able to stay in this country don't mean us no good. They're not going to be the best possible citizens normally is what I have found. Huh? They come here and go rob Tortuga and then end up in jail for 10 years where we have to take care of them. They come here talking about how they want pound hair by the pound and they go to NAU and use their NAU services to be able to get that kind of lifestyle. They're going to be setting up companies, construction companies and other companies where they don't want to pay their workers. And they think, oh, well, now I'm a Caymanian. So what can you do to me? Individually, we all have to be committed to making better decisions. Do not marry someone who is not in it for the right reasons. No amount of money in the world should make you think of just selling your birthright. Because then when y'all start to complain about the traffic on the streets and the lack of health care and NAU can't help people, it's because those people are burdening the system. You're interjecting undesirables into this country. Because if they could remain here any other way, they would have gone that route as opposed to the quick, marriage and relationships of convenience. Remember the gun case the other day with the girl and the Jamaican fella? She's Caymanian. They both going to go to jail now for probably 10 years out of their lives. We'll know in January what they get sentenced. I was sitting there looking at two of them going, oh God, this is one of those relationships of convenience. She hadn't yet married him. Apparently he got a wife and children. I'm like, here, y'all really need to do better. And listen, the list of people who are doing it, we heard about prison officers, police officers. The list runs the gamut. It seems like nobody is safe from getting involved into this foolishness. You have got to think. Right? Vicky says after some get their papers, they leave them and too old for them, sad. And especially when rollover hits, all of a sudden they're in love. Magdalene said these suggestions should be sent to the committee who is looking at PR, etc., so that they can be included as suggestions to cabinet. Jonathan says, Charlene looks like she was just about to talk about me. Let her call back. What she got to say? I don't think she's going to talk about you, Jonathan. She was laughing when I read your comment. Alejandro says they're very selective when you express your freedom of information. I know one Jamaican friend here long enough deserves to be part of the Cayman community. And, you know, people can earn the right, but you have to do it the right way. Alejandro says, Auditor General, where are they? Gen X is waiting. So we need to step it up. One way in which you can become part of the solution is start reporting these marriages of convenience. If you know it, you have information, send your information on to enforcement. There's an enforcement email. I don't know what it is, but you can find it. There's an enforcement email, folks, that will allow you to send them the pertinent information. Tell them what you know. You can do so anonymously. Government, CIG, don't sit back talking about, oh, you know, yeah, this has been happening for so long. What are we going to do about it? Do something about it, because there are some legislative components that you can put in place that will help. I don't have no issues with you making the requirements a little bit more stringent. Make them work for it. Make them stay here long term. You know, when you first apply for RERC, you issue a declaration indicating that this is a bona fide relationship. Maybe you need to make that renewable every year. Increase the penalties if people are found to be in marriages of convenience. Immediate deportation. And the Caymanian who was part of it needs to also be getting in trouble. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Sandra. How are you doing?
Not bad, dear. How are you?
Very, very delicate and hot issue. But I just want to tell you, you did mention something, you know, that a certain nationality, you don't really see the men doing so as the women. But I'm telling you, this is from not what I hear, it's what I know. Down to the very church or wherever, they work in homes more than ever now. And if they can get in and disjoint and dislocate that marriage or that house, they don't really care. And they're so humble and affectionate and caring, and many wives are negligent in that area. You can't take your marriage for granted, you know. And my mother used to say 3 things a man needs. First of all is affection. Next is respect and a sense of value and appreciation. You know, and if they don't get it,
what was the third
one? The ratio of men looking for an agenda.
You said 3 things and you mentioned 2. What was the third one?
No, it's 3. I said affection, respect, appreciation. You know,
oh, I thought the 2 of those went together. Okay.
No.
And
you know,
I thought you might have mentioned SEX, because most men say they need that too.
Well, affection, it's correct. No,
that comes under the affection category. I got you.
Yes. And I'm telling you that, you know, the point is this: when a man, most men want that alone is like a leash, you know, that holds them into control, and it will turn their head back to front. You know, it loses, it's similar to, like, okay, you talk about Delilah then. Her agenda was money. These are real things. There's nothing in life you can't find in that book. It's a manual. You know, the agenda was money. So when I've seen some of them here, and my goodness gracious, you wonder, you can know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you know. And it's like and the minute they get what they want and they bring the rest of their nationality with the generation here, and they get what they want, it's bye-bye to that. Bye-bye to that one. You know, but the men are so silly and so weakened and become senseless because of that word affection. You understand what I'm trying to say? And the attention, whatever it is, because it's sad, because I have encountered people, wives, that are suffering because of this, and they don't care. They just don't care. You know, they have an agenda. Like I said, you cannot measure a woman's agenda in this department as opposed to a man. You know? So it is sad, and they have to find a way to deal with it here, because the amount of homes that I know of that is being dismantled and disturbed and all of that, you can't even begin to fathom. And wherever they go, it doesn't matter what the country is, their agenda is to stay there, come what may. You know, it's a way of escape because things are hard there. Nobody runs from good.
Yes.
You know,
Very
you
true.
run to what you don't have or what you would like
Yes.
to have.
Yes, very true.
You know, so whatever they can find that is what they want to have or need to have, they're going to get it. You know, so it's sad. It's both ways, and I feel it for that young man. And I know of a similar situation. So it is sad. You know, my mother used to say, unless, and that's in the book of Ecclesiastes, I never know, is that only God can protect a man from a devious woman. Yes, because I'm telling you, I have a personal experience. A woman, not here, but wouldn't rest until that a home was destroyed. And they went and put their name on every bank account, and she cleaned out every single penny out of every bank account. You understand what I'm
Well, you
saying?
know, we talked about even the pensioners being in the semen being targeted.
Yes, and it doesn't matter what you look like, as long as you have a status or a stay in a country, they're going after you. You know, and I'm telling you, it's sad to say, but the female race, as Solomon said, they're a dangerous species. Unless God have their hearts, men will fall for a little attention and affection. It's sad. You know, and others will fall for some company. It's sad. It is very sad because children suffer, people suffer, all of these things because of your selfishness. You know, and it's time we wake up and try to get eyes that would see. Look out for the red flags. Because the old time song, oh yes, I'm a great pretender. It's easy to pretend. You know, so it's wake up time. There's not time for foolishness, because all of these things, they're temporary. They're not going to last.
Yes, of course.
You know, so I really feel it. I feel it for the broken homes. I feel it for the foolish men. I feel it for the foolish women. You understand what I'm trying to say? But anyway, keep up the good work. God bless you.
Thank you, my dear. Appreciate it. So yeah, folks, I mean, it's a really sad situation. And like I said, the worst part of it is it really has some real life implications. Like, we've had a good few laughs this morning. We've joked about it. We've talked about, you know, what happens across the spectrum with different nationalities and different people. But we are ruining our country because of this whole marriage of convenience situation. That this really is the bottom line. And we need to get it under control because it's getting worse by the day. More and more people are getting desperate, and they are willing to do anything to come to Cayman and to stay in Cayman. And if they see willing participants in this, it's the same thing with the work permit situation. Some of you are working work permit scams, taking out permits for people when you know you have no job. Stop doing it. You cannot benefit yourself personally with wrongdoing and think that you are a good person, you're a good citizen, or you're helping this country. You are destroying this country in the name of your own personal greed. And that is the saddest indictment of all. Caller, you're on air. Good morning.
I just got a knot on the ear.
You are on air.
Oh, Lord.
You're on air.
I didn't want to be on air.
All right. I'll call me back in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right. So look at that. As quickly as we blocked this guy, he's back with another fake account again called German. How he creates so many fake accounts really begs the question, the system that Facebook is using, because he must be using, I can't imagine he has that many email addresses. But my God, here he is again, going after that poor girl, Grace. Dude, you got some serious problems. Oh, he went to YouTube. Oh, I see what he did. He went to YouTube. We'll block you from there too. Simple as that. Jesus, take the wheel. Please give me patience, because it's a good thing I'm not Grace Geely. What a mess. Anyway, good folks, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the program this morning. Jean says you can be jailed for a long time for being a participant in a fake marriage in the UK. One of the things I want to say is when you find out that you're being used, because sometimes you don't know you're being used, and then you find out that you're being used, because those are the ones that are not even paying you money to use you. You need to quick time rectify the situation legally. Divorce them, notify immigration of the situation, and get out of it. If you are a family member of someone who is in that situation, you can't tell people what to do with their lives, but try to counsel them and point out to them why this person is in all likelihood just using them to be able to remain in the Cayman Islands and what that will mean for everyone around them. All right, here's your news of the day. Big shout out to Kevin Watler. Hope you guys have a fantastic Wednesday. Go check out the basketball game. Like I said, today is the last day for that. The finale is this evening. Somebody else was explaining football. We'll talk a little bit more about that one, perhaps on tomorrow's program. So tomorrow's Thursday. Do make sure that you tune in. We'll have more exciting conversations for you guys then as well.
Hello, I'm Kevin Watler, and this is your CMR Daily Buzz. A 53-year-old man from Bordentown was arrested on suspicion of murder in relation to the fatal stabbing of George Ian Duffel, which occurred in West Bay on October 14th. He is the second man arrested for the murder. The day after the murder, a 42-year-old man from West Bay was also arrested. 3 Royal Cayman Islands Police Service women in leadership positions traveled to the UK to attend the Women in Policing Conference in London. The annual conference seeks to provide current and future female leaders in the field of policing with the skills needed to achieve success in their unique positions within the traditionally male-dominated field. Deputy Chief Officer of the Office of Commissioner of Police, Nancy Bernard, Inspector Denise Anderson, and Superintendent Wendy Parchment were chosen to attend the conference because of their senior roles in the service and the various areas of the service that they represent. The next featured storyteller for Gimme Story 2022 is Rita Estevanovich, who is returning to her native Cayman to take part in Gimme Story 2022. Throughout her career, Rita has been recognized nationally for her work. Currently residing in London, where she works as a professional actor, she is honored to return home to share tales from near and far with local audiences of all ages. Gimme Story is running from November 25th to December 2nd. The Department of Sports has appointed Darrell Evans Jr. as its Assistant Director of Sports Facilities. In recent months, the Department of Sports, with the support of the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, has made strides in acquiring talented individuals to strengthen the organizational structure and improve its outputs. Academy Sports Club will host a 7-a-side men's corporate cup on Saturday in support of their youth football program. The Academy describes this event as a perfect opportunity for local organizations looking to take their competitive spirit to the football field. The half-day event will see an eventful morning with players going head-to-head for the corporate cup title. Teams may enter a maximum of 10 players age 18 and over, and games will be a total of 20 minutes with no halftime break, and FIFA rules generally apply, but no offside rule. Now for your CMR weather update, it's brought to you by WG Charters. Sunrise at 6:38. Sunshine and clouds will be mixed when the temperature is at 86 degrees Fahrenheit and humidity at 75% like the forecast calls for. It will feel like it's in the mid-90s. Winds east-northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour and the sun sets at 5:45. At nighttime, the temperature falls to the high 70s. Looking forward, similar weather conditions are expected. CMR weather updates are brought to you by WG Charters. They offer private boat trips for a great price, so we encourage you to support them. Now for some regional and international news. The U.S. Supreme Court on Tuesday refused to block a request by the House and Ways Means Committee for former President Trump's tax returns. There were no noted dissents. The decision likely means that the returns will be released to the committee immediately, ending a multi-year legal battle. Trump filed an emergency application to the Supreme Court on October 31st to block the release of his tax information, at least until the court considered whether it wanted to hear the full argument on the issue. Police in Guyana say the body of the main suspect in Sunday's murder of a 22-year-old schoolteacher has been found hanging in an abandoned house. Police believe he may have committed suicide. The authorities said 28-year-old truck driver Leston Baines was wanted in connection with the death of Kelly Charlotte, who on Sunday night was stabbed at her residence, where she shared with her 27-year-old sister after she separated from Baines, her child's father. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has issued a statement requesting the public's assistance in finding a 32-year-old Jamaican woman who has been reported missing. Kimberly Lormond was last seen on November 19th. She was reported missing at the Freeport Police Station. That's it for now on the Daily Buzz. Thank you for joining me. Please stay safe and God bless.